Hello, friends. Welcome to Wholeness Africa Initiative. This is another moment we are all have been waiting for, as I will be interviewing Dr. Sunday Adelaja today on this platform. And what you need to do right now for me is to go out there, share this video, invite as many as possible. Let's bring in those who are supposed to be here, individuals who are supposed to be part of this program. Let them join us right now. Just share. Before we start, I really wanted to share this video widely, inviting people. I also need to share it because right now this program is one of the program everybody is already waiting for, and they are waiting to see what are the questions we are going to be asking Dr. Sunday today, when the time has come for you to see and to hear, and also for you to contribute. And how do you do that? I will let you know when we start the program. But for now, what I want you to do for me is share this video. Let's invite everyone that's supposed to be here. Those that need to hear this, they have to come, because this man has been writing. He has been putting many things on his platform, and many people have been like, okay, if you are saying this, you are this, you have no connection with Nigeria, you don't know what people are passing through, blah, blah, blah. When, whatever it is that you have in concern against him or about his view and opinion, the hour has come for you to ask for yourself or hear my own questions and have answer for your own questions. So how do we make it? How do you make this happen? How do you make this happen? I'm dreaming of having 1,000 viewers on this program today. So what you need to do to contribute to this program is to make sure, share this video. Let us have as many Nigerians in diaspora, living in Nigeria itself. Let's have as many of them coming to hear him answer some difficult questions. Of course, I am sharing, and I want you also to share and invite others as we go on. So please, before I call on Dr. Sunday to come up, please share. Let's invite those who are supposed to be here. And that's why I need you to share this video and join as we invite. What are you doing right now? Are you inviting? Let's invite. Let's bring others in. Please, let's work on the studio work, because the voice is bouncing back right here. But while I'm waiting for others to join us, please, friends, let's go and invite. Let's go and invite as many as possible. I am inviting them too right now, so I need you to also invite them and bring people, notify people that we are on. Okay, let's invite as many as possible. But while you are inviting others to join us, I think it's time for me to call in our guest for today on this platform, Wholeness Africa Initiative. And I'm going to be inviting the man that I will be speaking with and interviewing him on his opinion about Nigeria and the agitators. What are your positions and why do you take those positions? Let's welcome on the program today in the person of Dr. Sunday Adelaja.
Hello, Israel. Good news, Balogun. How are you doing today? I'm here. I'm here to your service and to answer
so much,
as many questions as you want to ask today.
Thank you so much, Doctor, for coming to this program today. And I hope I am up there if you can see me. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Doctor, for coming to be part of this program today. It's a privilege having you here. And then I would also personally appreciate you for allowing us to question you and to demand for you to give account of some of the things you are doing. Well, DSA, there will be a lot of questions coming from me personally, and I hope also there are so many people right now who also has questions to ask you. Those questions, they are also in line with what we are about to discuss today. And those who are going to be calling you, I think they can call. You can, if you are there right now, listen to this video, and you wish to call in at the end of this program, because after I'm done with my questions, people can call in and asking questions. You can use a name. You can search for a name on Facebook, Olena S. That name. Make sure that is the account you can call. You can call on Facebook Messenger, and then your call will be taken from the studio. The account has a picture of I mean, we see an image of a picture, not human being, but when you get Olena S, you will see it there. Rightly, let's go to the program properly today with Dr. Sunday Adelaja. And I believe anyone who is watching right now, you are sharing this video, and then I will appreciate if you keep on sharing so that we can have as many as possible joining us. DSC, I'm going to start with you from a question that relates with the government of Nigeria. But before I go to that, DSC, I want to ask you some specific questions. And these questions are personal, which I believe. I just want you, if you can just tell me yes or no. Do you believe that Nigerians and Nigeria is facing enormous problem right now?
Yes.
Do you believe that the responsibility of government is to resolve problems?
Yes.
Do you also believe that people have the right to agitate for self-determination?
If self-determination means breaking down the country, then no, they don't have the right.
Self-determination means breaking off, or let me say, saying that they don't want to be part of a country, of a particular country anymore. Either diplomatically doing it or taking to harm. So which of these do you believe in?
If it is going to be done in a constitutional way, then it's allowed. But if it's not going to be done, if it's going to be done against the Constitution, then it's called treason.
Okay, so maybe we'll start from that statement you made right now, constitutional way of demanding for self-determination.
Yes.
How do you mean constitutional way?
For example, in Great Britain, there is the provision that the independent, some part of Great Britain, which are already independent, almost separate countries, but they are still part of Great Britain, like Scotland, Wales, Ireland, that they could, through democratic ways, through election, choose to come out. Or let me use another, so that is a constitutional way. Let me use another example. The former Soviet Union, people talk about former Soviet Union and Yugoslavia falling apart and separating and everybody going their own way. But they don't tell you because they don't know. I've been living here for 35 years. I know what they don't know. But they just quote those things without the full knowledge of what really happened. But what was in the constitution of the former Soviet Union is that every republic, every state, has the independent right to come out at any time they want to, if they vote for it and they agree. And that's what happened.
If they vote for this and they agree, any sect or any group of people or who believe they are ones can come out of the country.
Not group of people, is concretely republic. They used to call them republic.
Every
like
republic, okay?
Like region, yes, or like states.
Any region can choose to come out if they vote for it and agree. Yes. And also, if I take it to Nigeria Constitution as well, there is a room for referendum if people desire to achieve a goal, and they can go through referendum. If the referendum favor them, they can also have their own country. I think part of that is what Igbo people are demanding for right now.
But that is the problem of the people who are leading them. They are leading them astray. People like Nnamdi Kanu will never tell you the truth, that there is no provision for referendum in Nigerian Constitution. Nigerian Constitution is more like American Constitution. It's modeled after American Constitution. No referendum in America, no referendum in Nigerian Constitution as well.
So when you say according to constitutional right, I mean, if they go through constitutionally, What
Yes.
is the constitutional way of Nigerian demanding for self-determination? Can you tell me, please?
If all the regions of the country come together, but most legitimate way is for National Assembly to decide that, or to set up a different national conference or something like that to get people representatives to decide, for all of them to decide on that.
Okay, so but if that being the case, the possibility of achieving self-determination through that means is nothing but zero. Why? Because most of these things you are talking about can only be organized by the governments. People from the region who determine to go or to get out of the existing country cannot call for national conference. They can only put out agitations asking
Okay.
the government to call for national conference. But that depends on if governments agree that I want to organize that.
Okay, what is
Do
the
you,
government? The government is a composition of people from all regions of the country. So if you want your people to go and demand for secession or self-determination, vote in those politicians or those House of Representatives or those senators who will carry your view to the National Assembly and vote for it there. That is why they are representing you. Government is not just somebody brought it from abroad, from Burkina Faso or Togo, and put it as your government. Government is coming from you. And those people will not be in government if your people didn't vote for them. It is people that you sent to the center that represent you. So let them voice your decision or your desire over there.
okay, so dear say before we go to agitation, I really want to take it step by step, and so that I will not jump the queue, because I have so many questions on that agitators who are going to be major of our focus on today's program. But before we get there, let me question you on the government of Buhari and its administration. But for those who are watching, who are joining us just right now, if you are home watching this program right now, what I want you to do for me is to make sure you share this video, invite as many as possible, and pen down your questions. And if from the studio they can help me project some of the comment of people that relate with questions, please. If you have a question, you can put it in comment, and then if you can project it as well, we will see how we can put your questions in view. And also, time is coming that you will be able to call in and ask your question from Dr. Sunday Adelaja. Let's go to it, Dr. Sunday.
Okay, before you
One.
ask about Buhari, let me still say something about the agitators. Concerning the agitators and agitations, if, let's say Yoruba people, they are agitating for the Dua Republic, they don't have the majority behind them. Majority of Yorubas are not behind these agitators. Majority of the Yorubas are against dividing Nigeria. Also with the Igbos. Majority of the Igbos are against dividing Nigeria. They are not for the Biafra IPOP people. And the way I know is that the people who they voted for in their regions are in the center. And none of the elites, none of the political elite in the center, either from the Yoruba side or the Igbo side, is campaigning to break up Nigeria in the center. So that means unless those people got to the center, National Assembly, without election, unless nobody voted for them, nobody supported them. But if people supported them from the regions they are coming from, and those people are Nigerians, we have to count with their opinions too. The fact that agitators make noise the most doesn't mean that they have majority behind them.
Okay. Am I back to the studio now? Can you hear me there, please? All right, thank you. Dr. Sunday, you may want to come back to what you said right now when we get to the point where we ask about agitators, because there are some questions that will lead us to this, what you just explained. But let's go to Buhari and his administration.
Okay.
You supported him for first time in office.
Yes.
And I could remember I went through your activities on social media as far back as in the day of Jonathan, and you were public about your stand with then president and his administration.
Yes.
What has changed? You have agreed with me on this show that there is enormous problem in Nigeria. And when I say enormous, there is no area that we want to mention that Nigeria is not facing difficulties right now.
Okay.
So, but you have agreed to, you say, yes, you know, and you have also agreed with me that one of the major responsibility of government is to resolve national problems.
Yes.
Is to give good lives to its citizens.
Yes.
But you are vocal against Jonathan.
Yes.
And you are also vocal in support of Buhari.
Yes.
Now, DSA, looking at your agreement that there is a problem in Nigeria, why are you still taking a stand with President Muhammadu Buhari of Nigeria?
Because when Jonathan was there, I could only see, not just me, the country, we could only see progress in statistics. Ngozi Iweala was always giving us statistics from World Bank that Nigeria economy is doing well, only statistics. But on ground, we couldn't see any infrastructure being built, but people had money. There was more money in the economy during Jonathan, and people had access to money more during Jonathan's time than now. But that doesn't mean that things were better during Jonathan's time. It only means that we are eating our future. And that is what happened. Nigeria had immense opportunity to save because we are having money come in large quantum during the times of Jonathan. So instead of using it to build our future, build infrastructure, build railways, build roads, build airports, all these things that this man is now doing, Buhari is now doing, they didn't do any of that. Not just Jonathan didn't do it, even people like Obasanjo, he did some things, but he didn't do all these things that this man is doing now. So what were they using the money for? They were using the money to gain popularism, to spread, to make people sure that people have money. And people, ordinary people, what they do is they take the cash and spread it and spend it. Now, people like Ngozi Iweala, she even fought with the governors who said, let's just distribute this money that is coming from oil. In fact, when she refused to release the money, she was taken to court that she has to release money just for people to be spending. People will be going to Abuja to collect money in bags. Our governors were calling pastors and calling people, just giving them money, just dashing out money. That is why the economy crisis and recession we got to eat us so hard. Now, what is happening is that we have less money. We have almost 10 times less money than we used to have. No, not 10 times, 5 times. 5 times less money than we used to have. And that is a huge difference. So, because of lack of money, you will even expect the situation in the country to have been, if it had been another government, I think that right now, God has just blessed Nigeria with Buhari, because if it had been another reckless government that has been there, who are spending, if they have been spending money and distributing money the way they were doing before, without this kind of accountability and responsibility that Buhari has brought in, we would have gone the way of Venezuela. Venezuela is a country in Latin America that entered into recession at the same time with Nigeria. And Venezuela also is an oil-producing country, just like Nigeria. When their own oil prices plunged, the same thing happened to Nigeria. In their own case, if you compare what's going on there right now to what's going on in Nigeria, in fact, you will be dancing in the street. You will think that we are very lucky. The same thing happened with a country called Lebanon. Lebanon also had a very severe economic recession. And because of the management of the economy, these are the things that could be happening in Nigeria right now. There are several other countries I could mention that went into recession, and things are very bad to them. If what I'm trying to say is that, yes, things are bad in Nigeria right now, but with the resources we have, with the plight that we suffer without saving money. Let me tell you something. When Obasanjo left the government, he left foreign reserve, $65 billion. $65 billion. By the time, and that was when the price of oil was high. That $65 billion was supposed to have increased to 100 billion. But instead of it to increase to 100 billion, it reduced to 30 billion. You know, it almost, they depleted it. No, okay, we are not even saying they spent all the money. They sold money in the time of Jonathan, oil in the time of Jonathan to the tune of 300 billion. Out of 300 billion, they didn't save anything. And apart from not saving anything, even the 60 billion that was saved, they even went and used it again. But so that is what was responsible for our first recession. Recession because we didn't save. Recession because we were just distributing money. And thirdly, recession because we didn't use the money to build economic foundations and fundamentals, to build infrastructure, to build the economy, to build factories, to build industries. If we had done those things, even though recession would have come, but we would have been steady, we would have been ready to receive and to confront that recession. So what this man is now doing, we don't have the 300 billion anymore. We are having very little money coming. But if from that little money that is coming in, they are still managing, running. And let me tell you something, during the Jonathan something, despite all those 300 billion that came in, states couldn't, half of the states of the federation, more than half, I think 2/3 couldn't pay salaries. So we wondered, where was the money going to? What were you doing? But now, almost all states are paying salary. Even if there are some that are not paying, they will be in the minority. So states are paying. There is, in that area, there, a lot of things. Pensioners are receiving pensions. And then from the little meager income we have, we see infrastructure everywhere. We see train. We see airports. I mean, when was the last time our airport was repaired and renovated like now? Go to the Nigeria, Abuja airport, Lagos airport, Port Harcourt airport. Now it's no more a shame like it used to be before. And look at the roads. How many roads have been taken care of? And whereas when we had money, none of those things were done. So that is what is responsible for my support for Buhari. Now, why did I vote for him? Why did I campaign, not just for me to vote for him, but for everybody else that I knew to vote for him? And I led a campaign in social media for his election. Because the options that were there was either to continue with, in 2015, to continue with the kind of leadership that Jonathan was offering, where nothing was being seen, nothing was being built. But people had money, but nothing was being built. You know the difference. You could have money, but if you don't build anything, it is instant gratification. The thing will disappear. You spend the money, then there will be nothing tomorrow. But if you build infrastructure, if you build industry, even though there is no cash tomorrow, there will be sustenance. There will be provision tomorrow. So either we continue with that kind of government of Jonathan, or we give it another chance. And I knew from the track records of Buhari being the governor of the Northeast, being the Northeast and northern part of Nigeria, being the Minister of Petroleum, and being the head of state in the past, I knew that he was a disciplined man, number one, and I also knew that he was a man of integrity and uncorruptible leader. So I knew that he was going to give us better management of the country and of the economy than Jonathan. And I think if it had been Jonathan, our PDP that has been there now, we would have become like Venezuela. And I think that we are averted thanks to the government of Buhari.
Okay, DSA, you made mention of some of the problems that we are facing under the administration of Jonathan, and your argument was that these are the things we see in terms of money everywhere, but there is no infrastructural development, there is no internal building of our society and economy. We are practically hitting our future, which I agree with you totally. But do you know that was the reason why people voted Buhari into the power? The reason why people gave their vote to Buhari is because they want somebody that will salvage their future. They want somebody that will save them from coming destructions. They want somebody that will give them a new directions. And if that being the reason why they were voted into power, and they knew the problem at hand before they applied for the job. For example, if you employ me based on the job specification, and then I got to the place of job and I begin to tell you why I cannot do all I promise you, will you take that from me?
Yes.
Or will
Yes.
you let me finish this question, DSA. I know the problem you want me to solve. I know it. I'm not doubting, because most of the time the party come out to say these are the problem of Nigeria that the problem present government has put it into, and I'm still going to show you there are five major. I mean, there are seven. Is it seven or five major manifesto that become social contracts between the people and the government, and they knew the problem Nigeria was passing through, and now they were in power. If they fail to deliver, don't you think it's very important for people to ask them to leave, to even sack them? For example, if you employ them and they could not deliver based on the available present problem, and I'm going to give you excuses, despite of the fact that I agree that I can solve the problem before you give me the job, will you still retain me as your worker?
Okay. If I
Or will you go ahead and hail me and clap for me because I was able to manage little situation out of the enormous problem that I signed in to resolve?
okay, if these people came to power, I'm not defending them. I'm not a member of PDP. I'm not a member of APC. You know, I'm not connected to anybody, any government. I'm not connected to Buhari. I'm not connected to the government. But I'm a person of truth, and I'm a person of objectivity. If Buhari government that has come in now, they asked for the job, if they were having the same resources as much as the previous government, and then they are underperforming, then I will take your side. That we should sack them, we should send them off, vote them out, and things like that. But if I know, and I'm a conscious person who is a logical thinking person, I know that the income when they came in immediately after the vote was when this thing started. It was just waiting to appoint its ministers when the first recession came. It had been voted in. So when they came in, income reduced drastically 5 times. So with the little resources that they have, what they are doing, I think they are doing a pretty good job. Now, but do we have the right as citizens to fire them? Yes, we do. But the way to do it in a democracy, if we are practicing democracy, the only way to do it is through ballot boxes, is through elections. So we can do that, but let's do it through the elections. But the fact that there are a lot of people who are disgruntled and who are not satisfied with Buhari government, for me, through my own observation and research, I can see that it's not all Nigerians that are angry with him. There are 2 categories of Nigerians that are in his support. A large number of Northerners and a large number of his party people, APC people, who are not just Northerners, but also all over the country. And by the time you put together the number of people who are still supporting Buhari or APC and against the people who are against him, you will discover that they might still win again. Because, Nigeria alone is not just constituted of people who are against or who are crying foul or who are shouting the most. They should look at the ordinary people who, for one reason or the other, still believe in the good intentions of Buhari, or people like me who remember where we are coming from. That I'm supporting Buhari because I know where we are coming from. I was there, I don't know how young you are, during the Abacha regime. What we are having right now compared to the Abacha regime is like heaven. Because Abacha regime, you will see people in the street just smelling. I mean, you will see, before you move from one major street in Lagos to another, you will see at least 2 or 3 dead bodies. Nobody is carrying them. The same thing during the time of Babangida. So I am an old man. I've lived through Babangida, I've lived through Abacha, and I saw Nigeria at that time. Things were horrible. So yes, now it is thanks to Obasanjo, because when Obasanjo came, it totally cut off from the time of Abacha and Babangida, and it brought the standard of living of Nigerians from $1,200 to $4,000. That is what Obasanjo did before he left 2007. Obasanjo really lifted the profile of the country and his government, of course. But then now we are back at $2,000 profile, 2,400 from 4,000 something. So we are 2 times we have lost our our something. But that is also a combination of the previous government and this government and the recession and everything, like I'm telling you. So yeah, they can vote them out, but through the election. But I'm not sure that majority of Nigeria are even against this government.
No, dear say you may not be right in saying that majority of Nigerians are against the present government, because I can tell you, if Buhari come out again for election in Nigeria, he may not be able to win local government. I'm telling you that. Maybe he can win in some part of northern part of Nigeria, but when it comes to his popularity right now, I think Buhari is no longer popular.
Have you gone to his strongholds? Have you gone to the place of his strongholds to take
That's
census?
what I said. He may win in his stronghold, but in terms of the national support he enjoyed in the first and second election, he cannot have it anymore. Because why I'm saying this is, yes,
I think there are people who will totally disagree with you. There are people who are now riding on his trains. They call the Buhari trains, who will definitely vote for him. There are people who I'm seeing their videos on Facebook and on YouTube, I say, wow, this Buhari doing this thing. I see people who have gone to the airport and are seeing the airport and say, wow, Buhari is doing this. I see people who are giving testimony that they got money, trader money or something, who are also excited and saying, oh, this government did give me this. I saw some people, apart from trader money, they call them people who are businessmen that have been empowered, 500,000 this and that have been empowered, who are also excited. So I'm not sure that people are as negative and as against that you are saying. Your only statistics can tell us that, and only figures can tell us that, and the test, of course, is during the election.
Let me also let you know, dear, say that if you want to measure people's popularity, there are some areas you can visit and ask questions. Of course, people can have some videos on YouTube, on Facebook, saying, wow, Buhari. Those people many of them does not even have a voting card. But let me tell you that if you enter Lagos market today, enter some markets and ask them, or carry plaque and say, I am for Buhari, and see what will happen to the person between the tickle of eyes.
No, but Lagos just had an election last weekend, and majority of this local government, they have 20 something or 30 something local government. All of them were won by APC, and that is Buhari's party.
The same thing happened under PDP.
Okay, so you believe that people didn't vote?
I believe that election doesn't take place in local governments.
Okay, so that what happened? Nobody voted.
I believe that when it's called about election in local government in Nigeria, no election for local government right now as I'm talking to you.
So, but
what they have in local government is
somebody will come out now and say you are abusing his intelligence and you are insulting him because he voted, and he will show his card.
Let the person come out. Let them come and prove that I voted, and then my vote is what brought in this person. And we can go ahead and see how many of them will come out and say I voted, and I'm the one that voted this person in. And let me also say that the popularity of Buhari didn't determine some of the things that happened in local government. I'm not saying they did not conduct election. I'm not saying there was no ballot paper. I'm not saying people didn't come out to press fingers. But when you talk about electing people into office at local government level in Nigeria, I am double sure such does not happen. All that happen is we have to show them the process, but the winners we already know.
Okay.
Because right now, even in the APC in Lagos, there is a faction that was automatically disqualified because those factions has the number, has the people's support. But they never allow people who come from that faction to take up they bought the ticket. They were never allowed to participate in the election. They were disqualified. And that faction,
maybe you are right. Faction, I'm not based in Nigeria. Maybe you are right.
One of the members of that faction broke out. He said he wants to go and test his popularity in another party. The guy went to PDP. The guy left APC, that faction, APC, they call it Lagos for Lagosians, faction of APC. One of them broke out and he went to PDP, and the guy is the only local government, councillor in Lagos State right now that come from PDP.
So how did he get there? Did somebody select him, or he?
That's what I'm saying to you. That election at local government level in Lagos, if to test popularity of APC, no, they won't have that number they have presently.
Yeah, but if you say there is no election on local government level, and you are now telling me that an opposition party in Lagos won the election, so how can the people in government allow the opposition to win if there is no election? It means there is still some form of election. Otherwise, they won't have been able to win.
I have explained to you, DSA, that I did not say there was no date chosen for elections. I didn't say people didn't come to out. I mean, didn't even come out to come and vote. I didn't say people didn't carry card and there was no. All of these were present. But having the whole party winning all the local governments in the state.
What you said is that the winners are already known, which means that ruling party predetermines the winner. So did they predetermine also the PDP guy that won?
The PDP guy won, and that is only way. That is the way to show the level in which APC is never popular. Because this guy is the most acceptable candidate in their local government.
And he won.
In his sport.
And he won.
He won because he was disqualified in APC. He went to PDP.
The idea is that he won.
He won
through election.
Yes.
So why should you tell me that he is the only one that is able to win? You know, it's an insult to other people who are from other APC and won squarely too. You cannot determine that nobody from APC won.
What I'm telling you is that APC will have everything if that kind of a guy didn't break out of them. You know why they will have everything? Because at the point in which APC choose you to be their representative at chairman level or councillor, you should go to bed and sleep, because already the election is determined.
By who?
Don't let me use the word APC. Don't let me use the word APC. Let me use the word ruling government in every state. Most of the states.
Okay.
Where you have PDP.
Anyway, the point I was saying,
everywhere.
Maybe you are right. I'm not in Nigeria. I've not done research enough to know. But what I'm saying is that things might not really be as bad as you are saying for Buhari, that they will stone him or that he will not even win a local government. This guy is the most grassroots leader in Nigeria history. No politician has commanded more grassroots crowd than Buhari. For me, I think if that guy goes to election again, he will win nothing less than 10 million again. I will tell you today that even now.
No doubt. You know, the word that he may not win local government is exaggeration. Is just to tell you how much is no longer popular in some areas of Nigeria. Not necessarily that if he contest election as a president, he will no. That's just to
I take words serious. So everything you have.
That is just to exaggerate the level of his the popularity. Not necessarily that he will not win even many states. I'm just trying to let you know the level in which. But to win again as a president in Nigeria, if he's coming out right now, I can tell you. But yes, because I'm going to bring a question out of that. And what was the reason for the popularity of Buhari in first tenure? People rooted for him. There was a lot of everybody who are like, this man is the man.
I don't think so.
Do you know the reason?
I don't think so. I think people voted for him, but they didn't root for him. I think people just were against the mismanagement of the PDP regime. And people were more against Jonathan than for Buhari. They were ready to say, let anybody just come in, only not Jonathan. That is why they voted for him. But not too many people rooted for him like me.
When I may not necessarily agree with that, because if it was just anybody to come in at that point in time, APC will have made the mistake of their life to present unacceptable candidate, because the name Buhari, the man of integrity, sells. As a matter of fact, it was integrity that we bought. The man of discipline, the man of integrity was what we bought in 2015. People bought that. That was alone, that name Buhari alone, that come with integrity, that come with discipline, was one of the major convictions for people. And so everybody wanted him to. For example, as I'm sitting right here, I almost lost my hand because I was in Cross River at that time. I did not even mind that those places are PDP stronghold area. I was going everywhere talking to people that you should vote for this. So I was doing that, and I know many people right now watching this video who are spending their personal money to print polo. I know more than 5-10 people. They don't know APC. They are not member of APC. They are not member of any party. They spend their own money to print polo and give the people and tell them, this is the man we want, and this is the man that is going to save us. But they say, I'm not going to disagree with you on base that the man saved Nigeria from
catastrophe.
Catastrophe. I agree totally with you, because if the government has been in the hand of those in leadership before, peradventure, we will not understand what this man is doing for. I'm not disagreeing with that, because you mentioned something about salary. I remember Osun State.
Apart from salary, do you remember what happens every December?
Fuel scarcity.
Of course. Do you remember the kind of Nigeria that was there? Do you remember the kind of pain, frustration?
No.
But Nigerians have short memories. And most Nigerians don't remember those things. But continue, please.
No doubt that those things are very important, and I cannot disagree. But people are not concerned really about maybe Buhari is a bad man, but people are disappointed based on many things. On this, let me read those things to you very quickly, so that you will be able to address them, so that we can proceed to the next question. Now, when Buhari was coming in, the summary of his manifestos goes thus: I will provide national security, good governance. Or let me ask you one after the other, so that DSA, please, on the rate of 1 to 10, I want to rate Buhari on these things he mentioned he will achieve in his administration. Number 1, he said he will give Nigeria national security. How do you rate him?
3 out of 10.
So he got 3 here, and that is the fail score. Good governance. How do you rate him?
Good governance, I rate him at 7.
7, okay. Human capital development. How do you rate him?
I raise him as 3.
3? So Buhari is sitting down to write this subject in class, and he has gotten 2 3 and 1 7. So economic development, how do you rate him?
5.
5. Okay, so the average here. Land and natural resources, how do you rate him?
5.
5. Okay, and then foreign policy, how do you rate him?
7.
7. Okay, with this your rating, yes, do you want to tell us why you gave him this kind of score?
Let's start one by one.
One by one from national security.
No, that's not the first one. Is that the first one I had? What you have to mention the mark. Mention the mark I gave him.
National security, you rated him 3, and after you give me your reason, please you hold on for me to tell you why people are now agitating, and that will lead us to the next question. So let's talk about why do you give him 3 over 10?
3 over 10 because even though he succeeded, that 3 is coming from his victory in fight against Boko Haram. Because there were 3 states that Boko Haram almost controlled entirely when he was coming in. 3 states where Boko Haram were just ruling anyhow. And maybe two-thirds of Borno State were under the rule of Boko Haram. Many local governments, 27 local governments were under Boko Haram. But right now, maybe up to 3 maximum. Federal government says there is no local government that is under Boko Haram, but at least there will be 3 that I think are still under Boko Haram control. So it made success in that one. But the release and the spread of Fulani herdsmen totally destroyed all the efforts they have made to bring security. Before he came, Boko Haram was our main security challenge. But now, kidnapping, even though kidnapping was there before, kidnapping started in Niger Delta. Kidnapping was there, before him, but it went down after, Umaru Yar'Adua, did the militant something. But the kidnapping that we are seeing now, the hell that Fulani herdsmen unleashed upon Nigerians reduced my mark for him from 10 to 3. I cannot give him more than 3.
Thank you very much for that sincere response to that question, DSA. Because of this particular point you just made is the reason why I want to ask you, why are you not vocal in condemning the government of Buhari for poorly performing on herdsmen? Rather, you write in support of Buhari, and you are almost on the side of showing what is right about him. I agree with you that you have spoken about those where he has shortcomings. Yes, there are videos of those things, there are articles of those things. But when it comes to what people have heard you vocally speaking about, it's always about where you think he has done well. But on this matter of herdsmen, your voice is not as clear as it is right now. Your skull is not as clear. And I want to say this before you respond, that also has been one of the reasons why people are saying we want self-determination. And before you go to that self-determination, just tell me why you are not this focal on the issue of herdsmen.
On the issue of insecurity, maybe, in general.
Yes.
Before all these people who are now talking about insecurity and herdsmen, go and check the video I did when I said, Buhari, where is the Buhari of 1984? And go and listen to my language there. But I don't like going with the crowd. I have said it and did that video before all these agitation people started. Then number 2, go and look for my video where I did a video and I said, Buhari must hire foreign soldiers now. This is before the agitators started. Then number 3, go and look at the video where I said Buhari must learn from Obasanjo. And what Obasanjo said is that shoot at sight at OPC people, even if they are my own Yoruba people. So I said, Buhari, you too must give the order to shoot at sight at your own people. Obasanjo did it and said anybody carrying gun, shoot them at sight. And I'm happy that eventually we had Buhari make that statement. But I did it before anyone else did. And later on, he didn't respond immediately, I must confess. It took one and a half years after I did that video before he responded. But now he said that, go and shoot at sight as well at anybody carrying AK-47. So the fact that I don't, now why is it that I'm not talking about it every day like Dino Melaye or like Okra, Ben, is it, what's his name? No. Omokre or something. There is someone they call Omokre. Huh? Reno Omokre. Why am I not doing like Reno Omokre or like the Yoruba guy, Fani something? No, Kayode something.
Kayode?
Yeah, Fani Kayode. Why am I not talking like that? Because they are agitators. They are opportunists and propagandists. They are not bringing solutions. And this is what Nigerians like. Nigerians like people who will fuel their temperament, sentiment, people who will fuel their sentiments. Just talk about it. Just talk about it. It doesn't matter if you are talking is bringing answer or not bringing solution or not bringing. Just keep on talking about. Just bring emotions out. Let everybody be angry. No. I've lived in Europe for 35 years. I have learned to change my mentality and my psychology. I know when it is time to fight, and I know when it is time to advise, and when it is time to be silent. So in this case, frankly speaking, if it had been during Jonathan's government, maybe I would have spoken. I didn't speak during Jonathan's government too. But maybe because when I cannot help, when I see that I cannot really help, I can just give advice, but I withhold myself. Because if you are speaking, you must be able to give a solution. If you are not able to give a solution and you are just blaming, pointing fingers, for me it's a sign of irresponsibility. Only opportunists do that. And since I'm not a political campaigner, I'm not campaigning for any political post, I don't need to take advantage of opportunities. So, but the videos I did, if you listen to them, they are always pointing to solutions that I could see at that particular time. Now, but I'm not talking about it all the time because I see the efforts of the government. Because, if it had been a government that is not doing anything about it, when I noticed that the efforts were not good enough, that is when I did the video that go and, copy Adelaja. When I discovered that, they were not active enough, I did another video that, go and bring foreign mercenaries. But since I see that there is an effort at least, they are buying all these jets and all these weapons from America, they are, doing something. Up to now, I still think that they have not listened to me when it comes to the mercenary. They have their own reasons. So bring in foreign troops, bring in foreign soldiers, but they are not doing it. I think it would have been good to do it. It would have helped their efforts a little bit, but they are not doing it. I don't care. I've given out my own solution as I see it. If they want, they can take it. If they want, they don't take it. But I will not dwell on the negative all the time. Because as that one is going on about security or lack of security, I can also see that they are doing other things right. So, while many people are already talking about security, why should I just join just to be talking about it again? But I've already made some videos about it. I've already spoken about it. Have let my view come out there in the public. If they want, they take it. They don't want, they take it. No, but I'm seeing other progresses that are going on. And that's why I would rather focus now on the progress that they are making to let Nigerians at least have some bright spots, for them to even have something to think, to know that no, even though this thing they are failing in the area of security, but guys, they are building the future. If you see what they are doing, things are not as bad as we are thinking. Yes, security is very bad, but there are progress from other areas too. So that's why I would rather focus on the positive more than the negative, because if my shouting doesn't bring solution, I would rather just refrain from it. Let other people be shouting, because there are too many people shouting about it already.
Okay, that is good. As a leader that you are, it's also help us to know that these are the method that is right. But we think in this way that by speaking, we are calling government to order. We need to put pressure on government. Pressure is part of democracy.
Okay.
That we make government
you have been a leader. You are a leader, and I'm a leader. When let's say you have a team of people that you are leading. I am privileged to have an organization that I am leading that are spread in 50 countries and are over 100,000 people. So, but when I am doing my best as a leader, not that I'm not noticing the problem, I'm noticing and I'm fixing it, but my efforts are not enough. I need people to come to give me ideas on how to resolve it. And if I'm using those ideas and the problem is not going out, I don't need them to just keep on saying to do something. But I've come to the end of myself. I'm doing all I can, but you are just shouting. Your shouting now doesn't help me. It's rather disturbing me. It's rather doing the opposite. Bring me solution. Help me come up with an answer how we can do it. If you are not giving me an answer, you're just shouting, you are getting the opposite response.
Okay. let's go further on the second rating that you gave this man. You said on good governance, you are giving him 7.
Yes.
DSA,
Yes.
how do you come to this score for President Muhammadu Buhari?
First of all, why is it at 7, not 8, not 9, not 10? There are 3 points that have been removed from it. Number one, he cannot receive 8 or 9 or 10 because of his communication skills. For me, I think he has failed in communicating with Nigerians and about his progress and about his activities. I think that's a total failure in his style of administration. But I also see, being a leader myself, I also see some other strength, like the liberty he gives people. He gives people free hands. So when Buhari appoints you as a minister or as somebody, what I could notice is that he gives them free hands, just like he did when Agitators was there. A normal leader will not, in Nigeria, if you are the leader, all your subordinates normally they should be quiet and just yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. But he is not a leader like that, because Agitators, was doing everything, basically ruling the country, and he gave him the free hands. Right now too, you could see that that's his style. It's not like Obasanjo's style. Obasanjo's style is the type that I need, I personally like, and I think that that's what Nigeria needs. His hands-on style, that is Obasanjo's style. But still, there are advantages that, he gives people the free hand to do and to manage their ministries, like with the free hand he has given to Rotimi Amechi, the free hands he has given to Fashola, the free hands he has given to all these ministers of finance and other people, is commendable. That's number one. Number two, the integrity he has brought. People might say there is no integrity. No. Believe me. The integrity he has brought compared to what we used to have. I mean, can you imagine that Obasanjo, for example, with his hands-on leadership style, removed 3 governors when he was there. And he removed 3 speakers of Senate, 3 presidents of Senate, 2 or 3 he removed when he was there. That is the kind of Obasanjo. But this man brought integrity. If he had been another person, he would not have tolerated people like Wike talking like, would Wike do that to Obasanjo? He's gone. He's a dead man. He will not do that. Or will Saraki do that? What Saraki did to Buhari, will anybody tolerate that? That is integrity of governance. So this man is letting the law, the rule of law, take his place. Number 3, another thing that made me to give him the high mark is because he was a dictator before. Even though people are complaining that he's gagging them, he's not allowing them to talk, I think that the way people are abusing Buhari and the way they are talking, the same way they abused Jonathan, of course, but if he had been the same dictator he was in 84, I remember, because I was in Nigeria at that time, he would have done something else. He knew what he would have done because he did something else before. But the freedom is giving everybody to express themselves and not silencing them, I give him also, I think it's part of integrity as well. But despite what the House of Representatives, the former National Assembly, the previous one, the one that just the Saraki one, despite the way they frustrated his plans and his his policies, he took his time. He managed to take. In fact, the biggest problem that time, even now, became that what is this man dead? Is he still alive? Why is he not doing anything? We want the strong hand again. Because he wants to try, he's restraining himself. And I know what it means for you to be a leader that has all the power and not use it. You see, that is the real meaning of power. Power is the ability to control power. And I can see the way he's controlling power. Can you imagine during the time of iPod, when they were doing demonstration all over the city, all over the country, he could have, a lot of, I know what Obasanjo did. Obasanjo sent the army battalion to a village and just wipe out the whole place. I know what Obasanjo and other people would have done, and even what Buhari himself would have done when in the 80s. But he tolerates a lot. Even these agitations that we're having, Yoruba Nation, all these Igboho, it is Buhari himself that has tolerated too much. He's tolerating too much. Things that will not be tolerated, not in America, not in Europe, be tolerating too much. That is why all this Yoruba nation and Buhari people have grown under his thing, because he's trying to control himself not to use force the way he would have done before. So I think he has leadership integrity in that sense. And even though Nigerians might not see it, and Nigerians might not value it or accept it, but internationally, people see it. Because sometimes you see the mountain when you are from afar.
Thank you very much. For everyone watching at home right now, I'm going to give you opportunity to call when it's time to call into the studio. And how to call is to write letter to, write I want to call or I will call to this name being displayed, to call write Facebook Messenger Olena S. Send message to Olena S on this Facebook Messenger, just right there. I want to call in. And when it is time to call in, they will call you from the studio. You don't need to call. That will be called from them to you. And you can ask your question. DSA will be here to answer any of your questions that you want to ask him. Let me go back to DSA. I make a little comment on what you have said so far. And that is, okay. Thank you very much, DSA. You mentioned something that Buhari is tolerating a lot of things, which I want to say some in terms of, if it has been the day of Obasanjo, Wike will have learned what Fayose learned under Obasanjo.
Yes.
How Fayose was instead of Obasanjo was declared a state of emergency, and then he was removed overnight. He slept as a governor. He woke up as a dethroned governor. And so I also think, but in terms of tolerating people freedom to protest, people freedom to speak, I think Buhari, you should not rate him to be performing on that, because we have never seen this level of dictatorship. This level of oppression in terms of shutting up protesters.
Where? Which protesters?
Yes, in Nigeria right now, to protest is more difficult presently compared to when it was under Jonathan.
Yes.
The freedom they enjoy under Jonathan in protest, no Nigerian is enjoying it right now.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, people on DSS custody in prisons all over the place in Nigeria, just because they say they are not happy with a particular policies or an existing or whatever government is doing.
But do you also know that during Jonathan's government, or even during Obasanjo government, there are no protests for the secession of the country, for the breakdown of the country, or for self-determination? They are totally different. They are totally different. You go to France or go to England or go to America and say, I want America to break. I want secession. I'm doing demonstration for that. And see what will happen to you. Okay. That is what happened. That is very... Even when the president of America himself, Trump, led that demonstration and gave inspiration to them. See, they are all in prison too. All those who are in prison now.
Yes, let me.
I am even thinking that Buhari is too tolerant.
I'm not even speaking about secession or self-determination protest. Let's take EndSARS protest, for example.
Yes.
Let's take EndSARS protest, for example. People came out and they demand that there should be stop of killing of Nigerian youths by the police, a section of police called SARS. And people demanded that they should stop it.
Yes.
That protest continue, which I think Buhari should have made use of that opportunity to make Nigeria know that your voice is powerful.
No. Let me ask you a question. How long was that protest? How long did it continue for?
It continued over a week. I think it extended to 2 weeks, I think.
Of course, over 2 weeks. And nobody was saying anything. They were blocking roads. Some people were taking advantage of the protest. They were stealing from people. I have friends that were robbed. And Buhari was just quiet. And even went on television and said everybody has right to protest. But it got to a point when the Lagos state government, it was not Buhari, it was Lagos state government that said, okay, we are going to proclaim, curfew or whatever, and stop, go away. But of course, they announced late, I agree. because we are going to do this, we are going to clear the place, go away. But the tolerance for 2 weeks,
No,
people
yes,
were coming out.
Let me ask you. If you are a sitting president at that moment, let's say you are a sitting president of this country,
Yes.
and your children are on the streets,
Yes.
shouting every day, asking you either what they are demanding for is right or wrong.
No,
Will you
no,
keep
but
quiet? Let me say that. DSA, Buhari didn't come up, did not speak to the children. These people are his children. They're supposed to be the
but
father.
that is not true.
That is true. He didn't come up.
Let me refresh your mind, your memory. Buhari met with all the security people, the police, and he even called the representative of the NSAS to send in their proposals. There were, 5 or 7 items that were raised, and Buhari accepted all of them and disbanded the thing. What else do you want?
Can I say something, sir?
Yes.
Thank you. Buhari met with the security people. He asked them to send their representatives through Governor of Lagos State, who presented the demand of the people to him, and he said, we accepted everything, but people were saying, we are going to leave this place when we see the implementations of our demand. I think Nigeria needs to get to a point where we say, we are no longer going to live by promises without fulfillment. Now, what the government did that time was to change the name of NSAS to SWAT, and then claim that they are rebranding them. And what people are demanding for is people should be stopped. They should stop harassing people for carrying, maybe you carry a dead rock or they kill them anyhow. That is one. When these people presented their demand and the government noticed that these people are not leaving the streets before the action of Lagos State or whoever give the command to clear the city, before the instruction was given, why did Buhari remain silent, not speaking to Nigerians in the midst of this heat? Note that. People who are supposed to be the leader of tomorrow are the one championing that cause. Majorly, 99% of the people on the street then were youths. And these people supposed to be given that boldness, confidence that they mean something to their president. President never addressed them. He never come out to say so until the time when the people were being stranded and then
you said the president only said to send their grievances to the governor. No. The government also invited their representatives. NSAS representatives were invited to sit down with the government and to help them resolve the issue. But the representatives refused. Most of them, and said, we don't want to be incognito, we want to be unknown. But the reason why Lagos State intervened, you have to also concede this, that after 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks, the leaders of the demonstration were losing control as well. People, there are always hoodlums who will take advantage of disorder or what is happening. So people started taking advantage of that. Evil people, bad people started taking advantage. And there is no way government will just wait there and allow that to happen. And you saw what happened with the palace of the Oba, even though, and then the people, the TVC, or people just attacking people, burning down businesses and things like that. By the time those kind of things begin to happen, any responsible government will have to intervene. But for the fact that for 2.5 weeks, they allowed them to have a peaceful demonstration, that is also commendable.
Well, I think for that also, I'm going to take you back to History Lane, and I want you to please let me play a video from the studio about DSA leading the protest in Ukraine, so that we'll see. And DSA also spoke on that video somewhere that this protest has been going on for over 2
years. Did you send the video to her?
Yes, to Anu.
Anu, where is Anu? Is not here. Anu didn't give the video to her.
Okay.
Can you send it? Can you send it now?
Okay, I told them to help me. It's a link of a video. It's on your YouTube.
Yes.
Where you let
Can you send the link again? Can you send the link again right now? So send it to this Skype right now where we are talking with you.
Okay. Okay. I will do that.
Anu is not here. Anu didn't show responsibility in that sense. Maybe want to be a pastor. Oh no, not that. Read. Okay, so anyway, why? Not that you want to. Are you still there?
I'm here, sir.
So okay, while you are trying to send the link, or if you send it, I will address that situation. The protest in the streets of Ukraine, which I partly led, lasted for 2 months. Not 2 weeks, not 2.5 weeks, 2 months. Or how many months? How many did I mention there in the video?
You said it has been over 2 weeks now, I think.
Yes, but it lasted for over 2 months. And so why is it that in Nigeria situation, I was not, I am not outrightly, like I condemned the government during the answers, but I am not saying the fact that they intervened after 2 weeks, after all the things were going on. Yeah, I think it's normal to do. But the 2 months that people were out here in the street in Ukraine, during the Orange Revolution, no glass was broken, no car was stolen. No even car was broken. Nobody was robbed. It was a peaceful demonstration. Even though people were outside, they were sleeping outside, they were cooking outside. People were even bringing, exactly the way they started. The very first 2 weeks that was at Lekki, that is exactly the way it lasted for that whole period here in Ukraine. So because there was no disorderliness, they didn't allow hoodlums to take advantage of the whole protest. They formed their own military, their own security. The people who were protesting formed their own security organization to make sure that they defended the place, protected the city, and they don't allow anything to go out of hand. And that is the advantage. And that's some of the things that maybe we could learn in the future.
Maybe DSC, let me explain to you also that in the course of the protest in Lagos, the one that took place at Legito Gate, protesters wake up every morning to sweep the streets for like over 1 week of that protest, going to 2 weeks of that protest. There was no violence in any form.
Yes.
Violence started breaking out when suspected government officials brought some thugs in government vehicles that people have videos and put on internet everywhere, drop them in the midst of the people to cause havoc. And these people came with knife and cutlass, fighting with the protesters. They were the one that triggered the crisis that led to. So, if the government.
What about the looting? Are they the ones who are also doing the looting?
The looting started when the violence broke out. And of course, thank God for looting as well. We wouldn't have known that our palliatives were kept somewhere. If looting didn't start, we wouldn't have known some people collected palliative and stored it in warehouses. I am not saying that looting is okay or is good. It's a
but somebody will quote you by saying, "Thank God for looting."
I said, "Thank God for looting," because if people of that moment, government triggered that behavior of looting. The touts, the thugs that are looting at the end of the day, they were there all the time when the peaceful protest was going on. There was no record of looting anywhere. For that 2 weeks, nobody recorded that somebody is looting somewhere. But when the government put that little numbers in their midst, I said alleged government, because there are evidences that people show on this, but alleged government put those numbers of people in their midst to cause that havoc. Then it triggered the opportunity to loot. People looted private businesses, and also they broke some way out to discover that some people's food that's supposed to be given to them during the lockdown were being stored in warehouses. Until today, government has never asked anybody question on that issue.
Okay, on that palliatives that you are talking about, what surprised me about Nigerians is that why is it they are blaming Buhari for that? For me, that shows that our problem is not Buhari. Our government is with our local governors and local commissioners and local government chairmen, because those things were given from the federal government. So federal government distributed all these palliatives to all states and regions, and then our state people turned into business, and they started looting it and stealing them and using them for their own corrupt purposes. So I would say it is not Buhari that is to blame. The problem of Buhari in Nigeria is with Nigerians themselves. Our own people, my own tribe people, my own Yoruba people, my own Igbo people, my own Hausa people, they are the ones hiding the palliatives and using it to deprive their own people who are dying of hunger. Anyway, there was still 4 or 5 points that I used to give marks, to score marks. We only stop at 2 or 3.
I know. I'm going back to it because I just wanted to make comment on the one you have given. Yes, quickly, because our time is fast spent right now. I'm going to cite the second one, the third one. You said you gave him human capacity development. You gave him 3.
Yes.
How come?
Human capacity development, I think that is one of the biggest undoing of this government. This government has paid a lot of attention to infrastructural development, which is good, commendable. But the most neglected area of Nigerian society is human capital development. The emphasis on education is very low. But even more than education, the national reorientation or national orientation is almost non-existent. And also, how can a country like Nigeria be only 60% literate and the government is waiting and they are not even addressing it? If I were to become president today, I will put it as my number 1 priority to make sure that every Nigerian could read and write in 1 year or 2. The Soviet Union did it in 2 years for almost the same number of people. So human capacity is not just about being literate though. Human capacity is about giving skills and labor, work, skills, ability to people. Now, can we see how many Nigerians are going to school and coming out of school without knowing what to do, how to get employment? Because they are not empowered. There is no human capital development. If they give people human capital development, people will not be looking for jobs. People will be developing themselves and using their skills to make money. I think it's a big failure on the part of this government.
Thank you so much, Jesse. And that will also let me call your attention to it, the fact that when you go for service in this country, after spending 4 years, 5 years for some courses, some people spend 7 years, they will still ask you to come and learn bead work, learn carpentry, learn all that. And it baffles me when I want for service. I ask them, how much certificate do I need to learn these skills? Is there nothing bigger than all this level? When I say bead working, if they are even teaching us to make use of advanced tools to do these things, it will make a lot
technology, of sense. Technology,
but they are asking
innovation.
You to be using needle to be sewing your shoe. They're teaching you on a commercial level on how to produce massive shoe for the whole Africa. Not that it's just to come and teach you how to cut the shoe and all those things. Thank you very much, Jesse. Let's go back to the question. I'm going to take these two together so that you just attend to them. Land and natural resources, 5. Foreign policy. Oh, sorry. This one is very important. Economy development, you are giving him 5. Why? Yes. How? What makes the 5 points go away, and why do you give him the remaining 5 points?
What made me to give him the 5? What to make the 5 points go away is because the economy of Nigeria is very bad now. During the Obasanjo, when Obasanjo was there, our economy was growing at 7-9% a year. It's the highest in our growth since independence, apart from the 70s. It's the highest period. At the Obasanjo's period was when Obasanjo was there too, everybody was complaining and, cursing him and abusing him, saying he's corrupt. Now, you are seeing that his time was the best. Anyway, of course there is recession. 2 recessions during the time of this government. Oil price fell. But the fact that our economy is growing at -1, -2%, that is catastrophic. So that is why he couldn't get, we lost the 5. Now, the second 5 that I gave to him is that he has been able to manage the little meager resource that we have so well. Even though he's taking loans, but loans are for development. We are seeing what he's doing with the loans. He's developing ports. He's developing airports. He's developing military. He's developing, the infrastructure. He's developing roads. He's developing railways. No, with no money at all. Can you imagine? I was telling you that with the kind of money we had coming in during 6 years of Jonathan, we can't see the money and we can't see any infrastructure too. Can you imagine that this kind of road that are being constructed now, Ibadan, Lagos Road, railway, all those things? Can you imagine that Obasanjo didn't do that? Yar'Adua didn't do it. Jonathan didn't do it. Abacha didn't do it. Babangida didn't do it. For all these 60 years of independence, 40 years were wasted. All these things that this man is now doing, they are the things that were supposed to have been done in the 50 years before he came. So he is now trying to cover the ground for 50 years. No, we must give it to him. That's why I gave him 5.
All right, thank you very much, GSA. And also, so far so good that I think Buhari was saying, I am going to diversify the Nigeria economy when it comes to power. And to be candid, GSA, will you say Buhari has truly diversified economy? Because at every point when the price of oil goes down, our economy goes down with it. And he bragged to say to us before he come to power that what Nigeria need right now is to diversify economy. They claim to have invested into agriculture, but the price of commodity in the market today is not the same as it was. As a matter of fact, things are expensive. In our home, we have children that feed every month before. You know how much we spend to them, and the increase is over 300%. No, sorry, it's over 200% right now. So how do you talk about, what do you say about this?
The fact that he has diversified the economy, there is no doubt about it. But what he has not done is that he has not successfully created means of foreign earnings, or foreign currency, earning foreign currency. That is our problem. So the problem of Nigeria is not even diversifying the economy alone now, but creating or generating foreign currency. So, but the fact that, before, people used to say 75% of Nigeria economy was dependent on oil, which is true. But that is no more true. That was true. This diversification campaign was started by Ngozi Iweala. And she started during Obasanjo's time. And they reduced it drastically. And then, to give credit to Jonathan, he also did some in the area of diversification. But now, this government has really diversified the economy, because right now, the Nigerian economy is no more solely dependent on oil production. Like from 75, what we have now? Oil only constitutes about 14%, maybe 12%, less than 15% of our economy. Now, only less than 15% is what oil brings in. So that's to the economy in general. But when you now talk about how much foreign currency oil brings in, that is where the problem is. Still, 90% of the foreign currency is still coming through oil. That is our problem.
Thank you so much, DSA, for your response. Let's quickly go further on this question. The last one, I don't want you to comment on them. I'm going to put the two together: land and natural resources and foreign policies. Why do you give you this mark? You gave him 5 and 7, respectively.
No. We have to take it one by one, please.
Land and natural resources. You gave him 5.
I gave him 5 because they are supposed to do the land law. He's supposed to go, just like he has helped us, he has tried, he has pushed through the petroleum bills, law, He has also pushed through the freedom of information law, which is, those are things that were waiting in Nigeria something for years and ages. So that's a good progress. The same way, land reformation, or how they call it in Nigeria, land amendment law or something, is supposed to be introduced, and he has not been able to do that. So things are still like it was. It's like he has not gotten there properly. So that is why he has lost 5. So what about the second 5? The second 5, I see that he is paying a lot of attention to agriculture. It's to make good use of our land through agriculture. And we cannot deny the fact that when the other minister was there also during Jonathan, it also tried, Adeshina Akinwumi, I think. It did well. It started the revolution in agriculture. But these people took it to another level. They are now producing. Nigeria is now the top leader in production. There are 7 agricultural produces where Nigeria is number 1 in the world right now. And Nigerians will not even believe you if you tell them that Nigeria is number 1 in anything. But there are 7 or 8, almost up to 10 areas, produces where Nigeria is now number 1. So they are maximizing agriculture, and they have been able to drive a lot of people to agriculture, and that's why I give them that 5. And also, they are trying to explore other natural resources apart from oil. And they have recorded a good success to now in gas. So gas now is a very good something. We are going to be soon. Gas is going to be giving Nigeria more money than oil, and they have started that revolution as well. Potentially in a few years, it's going to be manifested. So that's why I got the second 5.
Okay, let's go to foreign policy. You rated him 7.
Yes, because if you take the map of Africa, let me show you something. The things that we call insecurity, right? Boko Haram, insurgency, insecurity. It's not just affecting Nigeria. Insurgency and Boko Haram is going on all over Africa, all over the continent. And I want to try to see if I can find the map. It's like the middle of Africa. If you starting from Senegal to Mali, to Burkina Faso, to Guinea-Conakry, all those countries, to Chad, to Niger, to Central African Republic, and to Kenya. It's just like from West Africa to East Africa, long like that. It is, okay, I think I have it here. Okay, Boko Haram and insurgency is going through all the Sahara, middle belt of Sahara. We have Mauritania. They are also fighting the same war with Boko Haram or Islamic extremists. Senegal, Mali is in a bad state. Niger, we know what's happening in Niger. Is that the place where their president was killed at war, or Chad? Was it? I think that was Niger, where their president was killed at war. Then Chad, Sudan, Eritrea, then Kenya, and Uganda, Kenya. So all those, that is what we are fighting with, Islamic extremists. Even up, it goes down to Mozambique. So we think that it is only in Nigeria we have herdsmen and Islamic extremists creating havoc. But these havoc are all over the place, not just in Asia, but in Africa also. So what Buhari has done is that he has consolidated good foreign relationship with key countries. First of all, with France, because France was supplying, a lot of, France used to be a country of mercenaries that used to supply mercenaries all over the world. So through their mercenaries, they supply weapons to everywhere and a lot of destruction. So Nigeria needed to reach an agreement and come to a good relationship with France, even though we are more English area. But first of all, France, if we don't create rapport with them, good relationship with them, things will continue to be bad. Secondly, a lot of these countries that are affected by these insurgencies, they are French-speaking countries. And Buhari has been able to solidify his relationship with them as well. But most importantly, the places that the weak part of that caused all this our Boko Haram problem, and it was because of our neighbors, our neighboring countries. You know, because if not because of our neighboring countries, especially during the time of Jonathan, the Boko Haram people, because when you chase them in Nigeria, they go and hide in Cameroon. Then they go to Chad. Then they go to Niger. But Buhari understood that and went and established very good partnership relationship with all these our neighboring countries to be able to cope with the fight against insurgency. And then internationally, right now in Africa, there is no leader that is more respected than Buhari. Check it out. If Buhari is respected in America, Trump, you go and hear what Trump said about him. Go and hear what British Prime Minister said about him. Go and hear what French President said about him. What German, Merkel, Chancellor say about him. Is well respected. And let me tell you, CIA and all those people, they know what you are doing. If you are corrupt, if you don't have integrity, they know it. And those foreign countries, those foreign powers, they know that this man is a man of integrity and is trying his best. So that's why I gave him that mark.
Okay, thank you so much. So many comments online. People are having opinion and they are sharing their opinion about what you have said.
We have people who want to call also. If you want, we could also be...
We have not reached a time for them to call. We have two sections of program questions to ask you also. But if you allow them to start calling now, we may not be able to continue.
Go ahead. I'm just asking. Don't worry.
Okay, so right now for everyone at home watching this program, wherever you are, go into that section, that Facebook Messenger or Learner X, and write there that you would love to call. When it is time for you to call, we will let you know, and then you will be called from the studio. You can ask your questions from DSA, and he will be able to answer you. But mind you that let's be civil with our questions. Let's just ask our questions, and then he will respond to them. Let me go back to DSA on this topic, on this question. Please, I don't know if the video is ready from the studio before they play that video.
The video is ready.
Before they play that video, DSA, I want to mention this. They will play the video there that will ask you the question. DSA, I want to put at mind that in 2000, Buhari led a protest to Ibadan at Lamidi. I mean, is it Lamidi governor? The assistant governor then was Adedibu. Lamidi something. Something. Lamidi
Adeshina.
Lamadeshina, yes. Lamadeshina was the sitting governor, and Buhari led a protest to his office. And the reason for his protest was he was asking that the governor allow the S-men in Oyo State to enjoy their civil rights and he should protect them from being killed. That was the protest. He led that protest against, in Oyo State, living as a national icon that he is. He was there to speak on behalf of his S-men. Have that at mind. Here you are, DSA, leading a protest in Ukraine. Let's play that video, please.
Responsibility for the revival. This time, I decided by myself, and God has allowed me to do this, to declare to the country, if you won't keep your words, the people will teach you to do it. Last this has happened. Not even a year has passed since the Embassy of God took to the streets to defend its rights, and now all the people have come to the street, not only to teach the officials to keep their word, but also to remind them of who has the real authority.
This is an unbelievably exhilarating and exciting time in Ukraine, because we've seen people after 1,000 years finally come out on the streets and demand their rights. They demand democracy, freedom, and a civil society.
All that has been familiar for the Protestant churches over the last 10 years began happening in the squares and streets of the city during the days of the Orange Revolution.
All right, thank you very much. Welcome back to these questions period. Everyone watching at home, my name is Israel Balogun, and I'm speaking to you from Wholeness Africa Initiative. This is a moment where I ask questions, difficult questions, as listening to his stand on Nigeria and Nigeria, his stand on Nigeria and the Nigeria government. Today, he has been attending to some questions have been put to him, and he has given his own side or his own sincere opinion as listening to those questions. Right now, there will be period for you to call in and ask him some questions as the program continues. So what you need to do is to go right now into the Facebook Messenger of Olena Hairs, as the name being displayed on this video. Go to the Facebook Messenger of that and say to them that I want to call in. You will be able to call in and ask him questions, and then you should wait for him to respond to your questions so that we will all have understanding of why he took his position and what he's doing, why he's doing them.
They shouldn't call. They shouldn't call, right? They just write.
Just write. Don't call in. Write them. They will call you from the studio. Just write them. I want to call them. They will call you from the studio. Don't call in. Dear, say welcome. I haven't show you these two videos. You are once upon a time leading, and then what you are leading people then was you are demanding for true democracy. There was an electoral fraud in the country where you reside, and you are part of the people who led up that movement.
Revolution, yeah.
Revolution, demanding for true democracy. And then thank God you use the word revolution, because I am going to take it through three major people that you have stood against who are demanding for their own area. I mean, for one or two things in Nigeria. One of them is Showore, who claimed that there should be revolution now. And you are part of the people who led a revolution in a foreign country. One, why do you choose that path? You are going to answer this question. Let me just place my question barely before you and allow you to attend and give your perspective as listening to three major people from who are standing now, and then three of them are standing trials right now, as I'm telling you. Showore is standing trial, Nnamdi Kanu is starting a trial, and then Igboho is also starting a trial in Cotonou, and Nigeria is also asking him to be extracted to Nigeria. But I just wanted to know that you were part of the people who stood for revolution. Revolution in Europe. You stood for revolution, and you happen to be a foreign man. You are not even there from the country. You stood for revolution. Why do you think it's wrong for Showore to demand and to say, let there be revolution in Nigeria? Because what does Nigeria need if it's not revolution? Secondly, Igboho stood with his people as a result of the killing from the herdsmen. Igboho stood with his people, demanding that his people should be protected just as Buhari did in 2000. Demanding that the government of the state should protect the herdsmen in his state. Buhari was in your state asking the government to protect his people. Igboho stood with his people. Let me lay it bare, DSA, before it degenerated to the point of asking for secession from Igboho or Nnamdi Kanu. I'm coming to the Nnamdi Kanu issue, but before it led to asking for secession by Igboho, it did not start from the perspective of secession. They started from the perspective of let there be security, let there be safety for people. But when the situation continued to occur, that was when the declaration for Oduduwa Nation. Oduduwa Nation had been demanded by some set of people. Igboho joined them when there was no concrete and evidence approach of the government in resolving or protecting people. Women were raped, children were killed, men will come on bike, enter villages and kill people. What do you want them to do? To fold their hand and look at the government not responding drastically? The government said, shoot aside anyone who carry arms. But such has not been the response or the action of the law enforcement agency in Nigeria as I speak. If you want to know, recently, over 1,000 ex-Boko Haram members were secretly released from the net of the soldiers in the name of their now repented Boko Haram. But people who are asking for the sessions are being kept in prison, being fed with engine oil and eba. That is it. When it comes to Sowore came and said, revolution now. The same word you just used right now, that you are part of the people that led revolution. And he said revolution now. And then in our constitutions, there was no statement. There was no law that said no man can use, I am not in authority, I am not a lawyer, I am not in authority to, but I state my opinion based on the citizens and as my level of understanding. And I also say that Buhari also made use of the statement also in the day of his campaign, of his protest in this country. So why are you now saying these people are not doing the right thing? Do you think it's wrong? And I could remember you said, you must be, I want to use the word the way you use it on that video and book. The word is to say, maybe you will remind me right now, get angry with evil.
Yes.
Insulted.
Yes.
Be
insulted by
ungodly.
Yes.
Insulted by ungodly. So we are supposed to feel insulted by what is not right in society.
Yes.
Why do you think it's wrong for anyone to stand up and begin to demand for good governance? If we need to mount pressure on the government to call the national conferences, to bring them to table and address our problem in whatever ways we need to do it, do you think it's wrong? And I want to tell you this. Nigeria does not have a democratic system where sitting government respect diplomatic discussion. Over time, they've proven to know that the only language they understand is either strike or protest. Go to academians. The academic will have gone to the point of calling for roundtable discussions, writings, demanding through letters, through this and that. The government will not respect their discussions until they take to strike that will paralyze educational system totally. The same way, when it comes to labor would have gone as far as writing government, sitting down, having meeting, coming to agreement, doing diplomatic discussion. The government will not listen until people take to streets. That has been the psychology of Nigeria government, and Nigerians have believed that until we take to streets, our government does not hear us. And so if that is the only way we can communicate with the government, why do you think it's wrong for us to say, hear me, government, because I want you to hear me? And of course, the greatest power belongs to the people, not the government. The people owns the power, not the government. People dedicate the power to the government, not that the government dedicate power to people. Let's come to Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu is stepping on in a course. He was battered to meet. Or let me say he met, maybe he was alive when the demand for Biafra started. Nnamdi Kanu is not the one who began to demand for Biafra. Biafra demand has been over years. In the day of the fathers, they have been asking for Biafra, and they fairly marginalized in the country where they're supposed to be part of the nations. Of course, you will disprove. You have written many articles and you have done videos that not the Southeast should stop claiming that they are marginalized. But it worries one to know that they have their own point and reasons for saying, look, we want our country and you must let us go. Why do you think it's wrong for Nnamdi Kanu to stand up and say, give us our country? You will note that most of the time when these people are asking, what they're asking is just that we just want to go. And if some people said our marriage is no longer okay, will you allow violent marriage? Will you say if an husband is beating a wife, do you want that wife to remain in the house because he must keep the marriage going? If a marriage is no longer good, we should separate and go away. Last, I want to ask you, I want to just say this so that you can attend to this problem. Dear sir, you said something that the agitators are minorities. The majority people does not want Biafra nations. Maybe we take censor on the comments on this video right now. If you are a Igbo man and you are watching this video and you want Biafra, you can just write, yes, I want Biafra. Let's count the number of people who will say yes against those who will say no. And if you don't want Biafra, say no, I don't want Biafra. Maybe we take sense, you will know, you will see. Let me tell you this. Nnamdi Kanu we give instruction from London to the people in Igbo land. The whole Igbo, he will tell them no going out tomorrow. That is how we will know that this guy, these people, is not a minority. He will say tomorrow no going out. The whole Igbo land will be like a desert. Yes. He has given such instructions several times, not once, not twice. He has told people that no going out tomorrow, stay at home. The whole city, the whole businesses closed down. This I present to you, DSA. Based on none of this fact I've laid before you, why do you still choose to say the unity of Nigeria is most important? Secondly, why do you think those who are agitating for self-determinations, or somebody was agitating for self-determination, somebody was only saying that the Buhari must go, and it's a right of Nigeria to ask their government to leave anytime they removing of government imposition is not only through election. We can impeach the governments. We can impeach the governor, we can impeach the president if we feel it's not performing, it's not doing what we choose. And if our Senate or our president is not asking or listening to the cry of the people, people have the right to mount pressure on any quarters that they think should take actions in achieving such a thing. So it's not asking that we should defy it. It's saying the Buhari that is on the power right now is not meeting to the standard, it must go. Igboho started by saying, protect my people. When there was no response from the government, it turned to give us our own nation. We want to go, we want to become self-determined. Nnamdi Kanu is championing a cause that it was passed to him. The people of Igbo people desire and they want their own nation. Why are you against these people's wish? Thank you so much, sir.
Listening to you voice the concerns of an average Yoruba and Igbo person, an average southern person who is in support of these agitations, I see you voice and advocate for them very eloquently. But it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart how the whole of the south of Nigeria has submitted to deception and ignorance. How blindness has taken over the land. Of Yoruba people, thank God it's not majority of Yoruba people, and Igbos, but thank God the Igbo elite are not with Nnamdi Kanu. The Igbo politicians are not with Nnamdi Kanu. The Igbo businessmen are not with Nnamdi Kanu. Nada Nasmester. So I am glad that at least there are some people with sound mind still left in that country. Now, those three people that you mentioned, first of all, I think it's an insult to Sowore himself, to put him together in the same category as these other people. Sowore is a civilized person. Sowore is an enlightened person. Sowore is an activist that has common sense. But these other people, they are animals. That Nnamdi Kanu that called Nigeria Zoo, he is the biggest animal in that zoo. Thank God now he's now knocked down in that zoo. He himself that's calling a country zoo is now become the animal that is tied down in that zoo. These are not human beings, they are animals. That is Nnamdi Kanu. And anybody that is following him, I think the amount of blindness that must have taken over, hijacked the people, it passes the mind. How can somebody who tells you that Buhari is dead and proves it, you put in some diagrams, everything, and say it is one, Jubril from Sudan that is ruling Nigeria? How can you follow that kind of person? Someone will follow that kind of person. You should know that he's not in his right mind. Anyway, that is, so I don't want us to put Sowore together with Nnamdi Kanu. Same thing with And so concerning the censor that you are taking, that, people will vote. The Showore experience, where popularity on Facebook and social media doesn't win election. Showore couldn't even win his local government, talk less of his state. So the fact that people are hailing you on social media, you know how many Nigerians are on social media? 20 million. And do you know how many Nigerians we have in the country? 200. So that doesn't mean anything. Everybody can come now and say, yes, we want Biafra. That doesn't mean they are speaking for everybody. And the fact that Nnamdi Kanu is giving order, people are sitting at home, that doesn't determine his popularity. Yes, every Igbo person, he has some feeling, some, in some sentiments in regards to Biafra. But what Nnamdi Kanu is doing, every rightly thinking Igbo doesn't support him. The people that he has been able to manipulate are mainly the traders and the youth. And the fact that he's making them to sit down at home doesn't mean that people are sitting down at home, doesn't mean that they support him. It's mainly because of threat and fear. So if you send people now to come and be talking, and people say, I'm against IPOB or Nnamdi Kanu, they know that some people will go after them. It is fear. And anything that is based on fear, can you imagine that kind of person leading a country? It will become a Pinochet. It will become a Pinochet. It will become a Mao Zedong. It will become a Hitler. It will become a Stalin. He is going to kill all his people. The person who started the campaign for Biafra, Ojukwu himself, said it would be crazy and foolish for anybody to start that campaign again, and especially violent campaign. Okay, that's about Nnamdi Kanu. Concerning Igboho, Yorubas brag themselves as being enlightened and being educated. And thank God that the elite and the really enlightened and educated Nigerians are not following him. There are some, there are some disjointed number of Yorubas in diaspora who are following him because they are, they are abroad. But really in Nigeria, Yorubas majority are not for him. Okay, now you're talking of Igboho and that he stood for his people. Now, first of all, it's wrong to say that he fought or stood for Yoruba people. I will still say, maybe you could say he stood for his people in, is it Igaga or what they call it? Agaga or Igaga? Huh? Igongo, okay. So those people in his area, yes, he stood to protect and fight for them. And he was talking about one Dr. Adebori or something. Is it Adebori?
I don't know.
Yes. Adebori, yes. I think that Dr. Adebori, that was the main reason why he stood. Because he was a doctor that studied abroad, came back, and he was killed. But he alleged that he was killed by Fulani herdsmen. But investigation now has shown that that man was not killed by Fulani herdsmen. The governor of the state declared this, and that they have arrested the killers. And the people who are really troubling that place were not only Fulani herdsmen or were not Fulani herdsmen, that even the person that gave the order was a PDP chieftain. Even though the governor, the sitting governor in that state is a PDP governor. And he said it, that it's a PDP chieftain in that area that did it. So what protection of his people did he do? But despite the fact that the report came out and the proofs were given that it was not Fulani herdsmen, Igboho still went back there to disturb the peace of that place and chased away the other Fulani chief that is there. Now, maybe that man was at fault, the Fulani Cherokee or something they call him. Maybe he was at fault, but normally you don't put power in your hand like that in a civilized society. You cannot put power in your hand. You cannot just say because the governor or the government or the police is not doing something, I am going to do it. And then when he was warned by the governor, and governor said I must protect all citizens of the state, either they are Hausa or they are Yoruba or something. He said, and he said nobody should create havoc. If you hear the video, the way Igboho replied him, he said, you had nothing. I beg any one of you, I dare any one of you to come and touch me. Yoruba, I was talking Yoruba. He said, you, when I was helping you to campaign, you didn't do this and something. I dare the federal government. He said, even the whole might of Nigeria cannot touch me. He said, if you send 1,000 military or police to catch me, you will be lucky if 2 of you escape alive. He was just what did he protect? How did you protect Yoruba land? So that's one of the things that just made me to just say, I can't believe that I come from these people. My people can be so gullible. How did Igboho protect you apart from talking? He was just talking big. There was only one strategy in protecting Yoruba people that I saw. And that was Amotekun. Is it Amotekun you say? That was Amotekun. Yeah, so Amotekun, that was real well thought out strategy. That is a concrete action. You see groups of people, civilians coming together to protect. That is real concrete action. But how did Igboho do it? The only thing he did was leading marches, demonstrations, and talking big and threatening everybody, disrespecting and bombarding everyone, boasting in his power. And that he has this black magic power that anybody can do anything. Now we see where that his black magic power has led him to prison. And he couldn't get himself out with his black magic power. He didn't do anything. And people are saying he stood for us. Just by talking, that way you could be sold out to any charlatan. Any opportunist could take advantage of you. Some people even believe that he's been sponsored. I saw an article, I even posted it, but I don't have enough facts to say it was sponsored. I just know that he's a zealous guy. He's a braggadocious guy, that thinks he's more powerful than he is in real sense, overrated himself, and he's now landed in disgrace. But he was killed and destroyed by his reputation and his name and his everything. He was destroyed by the people who are hailing him. It is just because he was talking big. So if it is just talk that is needed to make Nigerians follow you, then I understand why people like Dino Melaye, they are heroes. Or that other one I mentioned, the one that is writing articles. Omokiri. Those are the heroes. Because they just need to talk. And, but what has, now that Igboho is not even there to protect his people, there is more peace than when he was doing his protection. He's in prison now and there is not more peace in the West than his protection, than something. And he's not wise the way he acts. And the way Nnamdi Kanu, they are the same. Now, so why is it that me, personally, I called for revolution in Ukraine? And now I'm against revolution in Nigeria with the kind of revolution that Oshowore spoke about. This revolution we call for in Ukraine is democratic revolution. Revolution for democracy through elections. And election was conducted, which is because what happened was this government was they conducted election and stole the election and said they won. So people went outside and we said we will not leave until a new election is conducted. According to the constitution, you have that if there are proofs. So they went to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court ordered, this is according to the law of the land. The Supreme Court ordered for a re-election. And during the re-election, they put another team of people to count it. And then democracy won. But if people had not pushed the government, they wouldn't have done that. I also believe that up till now, there is a need for revolution in Nigeria. But the kind of revolution that I will call for in Nigeria is not the same for revolution that I call for in Ukraine. The revolution I will call for in Nigeria is revolution of values. I tell you what, as bad as our government people are in Nigeria, let me shock you now and tell you something. The Nigerian people themselves are worse than their government. Averagely.
Actually.
I'm not saying everybody, average. In the average, if any Nigerian person will have the same opportunity as they have, they will behave the same way or worse.
Sure.
Even the ones who don't have the opportunity, the way we treat one another every day is worse than the government people. You know, the people in government, they are our elites. They are educated. They are the people who are the most sophisticated in our society. And the people down there, most of them are worse than them. So that is why the revolution we need is a mental revolution, transformational revolution, a revolution of values, a revolution of mindset, a revolution of change of mind and change of values. That is the revolution that we need in Nigeria. Now, why was what Sowore did, what was wrong in what Sowore did? And what is the difference between what Sowore did and what I did in Ukraine? What Sowore did, what made it to be wrong is that he just lost an election. There was election which he participated in against the ruling government, and he lost in that election. He didn't even win his local government. Like in Ukraine, the reason we went out is that the thing was so closed. It was so close. So even though they said the democratic people lost, but not like not winning your local government. You know that you are not popular enough to, you didn't put infrastructure in place. You didn't put the amenities in place to be able to win an election. Now, after the election has been counted and you lost, you are not even number 2. You are not number 3. You are not number 4. You are not number 5. You don't even have the whole election. The whole vote he had was less than 50,000. So you don't even have any reason. You are supposed to hide your face in shame. But instead of that, Sowore came out and started a movement and called it Revolution Now. And you know what is wrong is not the movement and it's not the slogan. The slogan Revolution Now is not the problem. So what was the problem? The problem was that it was saying, let's remove Buhari now. And that is a constituted authority. That is something, but people, what about millions that voted for him? That is secession right there. That was his problem. That is why they were challenging him. Not because he's saying there must be revolution now, but by saying you should remove the voted, legally elected authority, power, president, without going through the due process. You now said it, that we can remove the president or the government, not just through voting, yes, through impeachment too. Those are the two ways we can do it. But for you to impeach, you need to put organization in place. You need to structure, you need to organize, you need to strategize. You need to have cooperation with people. You need to be able to play your game very well. But the problem with our opportunist politicians is that they don't want to pay the price. Let me now tell you the way we did in Ukraine. Even though I'm a foreigner, yes, you said I'm a foreigner in Ukraine, and I was part leading a revolution. Before I started doing that, I'd make sure that I spent 15 years, or let's say 10 years. I spent 10 years to build a structure, a nationwide structure that nobody can deny. And this structure was the biggest religious organization in this country. That's one. We had representatives strategically in every state, in every town. We have our members and our structures. But besides that, we have over 600 social organizations in Nigeria. They call them public, or what they call it, pressure groups that are not church related, just social organizations that are pressure groups. So instead of, Sowore talking like that, he's supposed to have, in a place like Nigeria, he's supposed to have, that is the registered, 600 are only registered. Otherwise, unregistered, we have 3,000 pressure groups standing behind us. That is apart from a church of all over the country, 100,000 people standing behind us. 3,000 pressure groups standing behind us. But apart from that, I had built a system whereby we had a fraction of our supporters in the National Assembly. We had a group that were discipled by me in National Assembly. We had elected officials in this country, elected 600 people who are members of parliament, members of state parliament, from our ministry. I had fortified myself very well. We set up system for 10 years for the success of the revolution. Not just coming out, what Nigerians like is who shouts the most, who can shout the best. And I know Sowore, I love him. He's my friend. I brought him to my program. I interviewed him. We like one another. But he's not listening in. He wants to do a quick job. That's not the way to bring a change. Build strategies first. Strategize. Build networks. Put infrastructure, infrastructure, organizational infrastructure in place. That is how you bring about a change. Even if you don't want to win an election, or you don't want to put structure in place to win an election, okay, you want to remove the government, then strategize, put a structure in place to make that happen in a legal way. Otherwise, you'll be facing treason that you are doing now. Same thing with Sunday Igboho. What are the strategies? You said, okay, Yorubas are being disenfranchised, or Yorubas are being, that's his language. We are slaves in Yoruba land. What kind of rubbish and lie is that? Who has enslaved you? It's a victim mentality. Why should Yorubas, who always brag themselves as the best, now saying we are enslaved? That's a victim mentality. Who are you enslaved by? Who are you enslaved to? Oh, because Lagos Port is a Hausa person that is the director manager of Lagos Port. Okay, what about Yoruba that is the director of Abuja, Ogoniland, oil NNPC, of the Ogoni section there, Ogoniland something there. What about all the places where Yorubas are leaders? Where are we slaves? Is it not the same constitution that everybody, if Yorubas are complaining because, the Fulanis are coming to our land to rape our women, to kill our farmers. True. But do you know that these same Fulani are killing more Fulanis than they ever killed Yorubas? All the Yorubas they rape and kill is not 1% of the Fulanis and Hausas that are being raped and killed every day. 60% of Nigeria's military is fighting Hausa Fulani people in Boko Haram and bandits in the northwest. They are bombing them. So recently there was a pilot that was shot down and is escaped. But the plane, somebody was saying, where did they get the weapon to shoot down a helicopter or jet? Because that's why they are bandits. That's why the military is bombing them. Can you imagine northerners sleeping, going to bed every day with the sirens of fighting, bombs every time for over 6 years now? That is not even happening in Southwest. Southwest is the most peaceful part of Nigeria. And yet, this opportunist Igboho came and destabilized the whole place. And because people are already thinking that, what we are having is wars. Okay, bad things are happening. These are bandits. Let's deal with it. But he said, I'm going to be your hero. I'm going to protect you. He doesn't have anything to protect. He doesn't have the wherewithal how to protect. Just talk. And his black magic is a bunch of nonsense. Cannot even protect himself, talk less of Yoruba land. And my people fell to this deception. It didn't come with strategy. It didn't come with vision. It didn't come with tactics. It didn't come with structure. Just disgracing a whole Yoruba race. Talking about self-determination. Of course, what is done is secession. Just like Nnamdi Kanu. What they are doing is secession and it's treason. Treasonable offense. That's why he's running away and he doesn't want them to repatriate him from Cotonou to Nigeria. Because he knows what he has done. Not because we have a tyranny in government, but because he knows he's a criminal. Same thing with Nnamdi Kanu calling Yorubas zoo. Hausa zoo. Everybody just insulting everybody everywhere. How can anybody follow someone like that? So those ones are a dead case. I don't even see them as human beings. They are humans in the sense that they have 2 legs and 2 hands and body, but they are nobody to me. They are zero. They are a disgrace to humanity. Those people, Nnamdi Kanu and Igboho.
Okay, it's amazing the way you address them and then the way you have attended to the questions. But one could have said, okay, let's go back to look at some of the points you have made so far. I was listening to, there was peace in Southwest before Igbo destabilized. Was there peace, DSC? Was there truly peace?
Relative peace compared to what is going on in the other parts of the country is what I'm saying. Relative peace compared to what's going on in Northwest and Northeast, for example. And relative peace compared to what IPOD is doing in the East. Relative peace compared to the militants in the South. That's what I mean.
One could have folded his hand to wait until it becomes worsened.
No, you don't fold your arms. You don't fold your hands, but you deal with problems the way they come in a civilized manner. And the way the governors of the West responded was excellent, perfect, created that Amotekun. But this Igboho came in and disrupted the whole thing and made himself the champion. What he was supposed to do was, if he really wanted to protect Yoruba people, he was supposed to join the Amotekun, equip them of, give them strategy or empower them if he has power, but not going into television and be talking.
But the Amotekun you spoke about, they are not allowed to carry arms.
Yeah, but is Igboho carrying arms? Well, what has Igboho done to merit his status as a defender of his people? Where are his arms? Where is where he was when the DSS came to his house? The lady was there. One lady was there doing live broadcast, and he was talking and calling in Yoruba language. It was Balogun or something, Ajagun or whatever. He was calling for their troops and soldiers and warriors to come out. And no warriors, no protectors for him. He had to jump from the window and break his leg.
Okay, but
this is a charlatan.
Thank God from the earlier discussion we had on this platform, you have also said that Buhari has performed woefully in terms of response to Iceman attack on city. I think the government has been able to rapidly take cogent steps that shows the commitment of government in ending such attack. But people like Igbo may have not come out to
exactly. I believe that. I agree with that. It's because of the failure of the government that gives birth to people like Igbo, yes.
So why should we totally condemn Igbo for him speaking out? Because
nothing gives you the right to break the law of the land. For example, you said he was coming out to chase out only the criminal herdsmen. Yes, maybe he started out by saying that. But most 90% of everything else is said about Fulani, 90% of them, go and get all his videos, they are all there in the internet. 90% of all his speeches is saying Yoruba, we should, he's going to chase out all Fulanis from Yoruba land. All Fulanis from Yoruba land, not just the herdsmen. So his supporters are trying to now try to patch it and say, no, it's only against criminals who are raping. It's only... What about if the Northerners, what do you think if Northerners have done the same thing? Even the state of the president has more casualties, more people being raped, being killed, the state of the president himself. So if they are Katsina, are they being enslaved by who then? Is they Fulani enslaving themselves? These are bandit issues, and that must be responded to in a civilized manner. Like Amotekun, if the government is not acting, let the Amotekun do or something, or some group like that act, but not turning into a political movement. That is what opportunists do.
Thank you so much, DSA. There are still many questions, but I think many people are already boiling right now, want to bombard you with calls. But so I'm going to drop many other questions. I'll just go to this last one. Maybe I ask one or two questions before I let people call in. We have used over 2 hours, and then when people start calling in, you may extend to 4 hours. Nobody knows. But let me ask you, DSA. And to everyone who is here right now watching me from wherever you're watching me from, my name is Israel Balogun. This is Honest Africa Initiative, a platform where I bring in individuals, peoples who have Africa mind and Africa development in mind. I want the world to hear them and to give them a platform for them to speak and to be able to bring a change to our countries and our continents in general. So today I have this man who is obsessed with Nigeria and want to see Africa become a continent of honor on planet Earth. Today, here with me is the man you all know his name is Dr. Sunday Adelaja. He has been attending the questions that have been given unto him since the beginning of this program around 7 p.m. Nigerian time, and then we are still there asking him some other questions. You will be allowed to call in jiffy. Please, if you want to call in, all you need to do is to go into this Facebook Messenger account called Olena Hess. You will see a picture of something like a picture, not human being, but a picture of of an image like that. You see it there. Send a message to that messenger. I want to call. Please don't call. They will call you when it is your time. Just hold on. You'll be able to ask your question. And then when you call in to ask a question, let be civil with our question. Let me go back to Dr. Sunday Adelaja. Do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Honest Africa Initiative on YouTube. And then this is my platform, Honest Africa Initiative on Facebook page. Click the subscription button so that you'll be notified whenever I'm live again on this platform. Let's go back to Dr. Sunday Adelaja, please. Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Sunday Adelaja. As I've said, I have many other questions that I will have, but I really think people should call in because they will be asking most of these questions also. But I want to ask you, people are asking, and I want to put this to you so that I can talk about it. One, as a pastor, don't you think dabbling into political affair will bring division into your congregation? For example, let me explain what I mean by that. You are a pastor pastoring people of different political interests, culture, and pastoring people of different political view. When you take position on political stand, are you not breaking or dividing your followers? That is one. Are you aware presently, Dr. Sunday, that Dr. Tunde Bakare, who happened to be running mate of Buhari, is now leading a movement against the present government? He called it Nigeria for Nigeria. And he's saying the present government has failed Nigerians. Will you know Buhari more than Bakare knows him, because he happened to be his running mate, and he played a major role in bringing him back to power this time. But now he declared in his church, I am going to lead a protest. I am going to lead a movement against this present government. That's what I want to ask. And then people want to know this. You say you are coming to Nigeria all this while. Why are you not in Nigeria presently? What is happening? What is stopping you? Because many people are of opinion that you stay in abroad there, you don't know what is going on ground. You don't know what is happening to Yakimu. Yakimu is a woman who sells maybe a tarodo somewhere and is being is passing through a lot of problem. And then people say, you stay there, you are talking about Nigeria, you don't know anything here. That you come here. Many people are saying, come back, come and say what you say here. Come and tell us what you are saying in that place. Come here. What is stopping you? Why are you not in Nigeria right now? Why are you not on the ground? Because you said you are coming to revolutionize and bring change to Nigeria. Why are you not yet in Nigeria? These 3 questions, I want you to attend to them. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Let me start with Tunde Bakare's position. Tunde Bakare is also a friend of mine, and he came to see me here many times, and he has supported me, and we're in good terms. But Tunde Bakare is also a human being with his own ambition as well. And because he has a political ambition, when you have political ambition, it's difficult for you to be non-biased. So Tunde Bakare, that is now saying is going to raise a movement against Buhari's government, is the same man that defended Buhari all throughout his first term, even his second term, and even before the second term, even during the first time or the second term of Buhari, Tunde Bakare was telling his church members, and he was telling it to the whole country, that there is a tender plant that God is going to raise up from the north, that's going to bring Nigeria stability and prosperity. And he is saying that tender plant from the north is Buhari. And that's this same Tunde Bakare, my friend, because of his own ambition, I think it was just last year, went to the national television and prophesied that Buhari is the 15th president of Nigeria, that he will be number 16, and that Buhari will hand over power to him. He will be the next one. Maybe he was hoping that since he was a running mate with Buhari before, and he was supposed to be naturally handed over power to, even though he's no more the running mate now, but he could still claim that position. Maybe that's why the revelations are coming. I don't know. That's a speculation. But I also heard that Tunde Bakare himself said it and bragged about this, that he was going to tell Buhari, and people even showed photographs after he gave that prophecy when he went to visit Buhari, and they were hugging themselves, that he went to visit Buhari to tell him that you are number 15 president, I will be number 16, I will replace you. So what I'm now thinking in my own mind is that in the last interview that Buhari gave, Buhari said, I'm not going to hand over power to anybody who has not won elections before. That your popularity must be tested through elections. That if you are not capable of winning an election, your own state, how can they give power to you? You will mess it up. That let your people vote for you. And I think that is a sign to Tunde Bakare that this guy is not going to be, manipulated into doing what he wishes to do. And now Buhari is just left with less than 2 years. In fact, I can say 1 year, because the next 1 year will be already campaigning and things like that. So it's already less than 2 years that is left for Buhari. So if you really want to start a campaign, I think what Tunde Bakare is trying to say is that he wants to start his own presidential campaign, really. It's not Buhari's situation now. He just wants to start. The same thing with anybody that is not happy with Buhari's regime. Buhari is already gone. He's not going to remain there after this something. He has said it many times. And so if you really want change in Nigeria, strategize already now. Begin to strategize. Begin to put your plans together and begin to, root for your own candidate, somebody that you believe in, and support and get behind somebody, or if it is you, build your own infrastructure, build your network to make sure that you will be the one to replace Buhari. That is the most important thing to do, and that's the most correct thing to do. Rather than going to campaign, do demonstration and do agitation, do groundwork first. So that is what concerns Buhari, and Tunde Bakare. Now, concerning my own question, why is it that I'm still here? And why is it I'm not in Nigeria yet, you see? Man proposes, but God disposes, or what do we say? Man proposes, but God disposes. So I can plan, I can say, okay, I want to do this, and I know God wants me to. The most important thing for me is that God told me to move to Nigeria. And God has given me that direction. For me, sooner or later, I will be in that country. When, no, I don't know. But the reason that I'm not in Nigeria right now is beyond my control. I can go into details, but I will take your time. It's beyond my control. If it had been under my control, I would have been in Nigeria since yesterday. But when the situations change, when the situation changes, I will come and join you people in the battle on ground. Now, and I'm thinking God is using those situations to stop me. Maybe it's not the best time. And I would rather just follow his leading. I know he knows better. And at the right time, he will allow me to come. But I'm still coming. The last question is, when a pastor becomes vocal on political issues, won't that lead to segregation among his followers? It could. But personally, I don't own any allegiance to APC or to Buhari. I don't care for any of them. Not for APC, not for Buhari. I'm not a member. I'm not a participant. Only I chose APC because the candidate that the PDP brought, didn't convince me at all. Atiku. Even if they are going to bring Atiku again, I will still choose APC again because I know the antecedents of Atiku and his track record and his story and his history. So that is why I chose to support APC candidate. Now, for me, my own political positions are based on truth. I objectively analyze situation, pray to God, and take a position. But people who follow me can take another position they want. Some people are saying, why is it that you didn't support young aspirants to become presidents like Showore or Mongalu? Mongalu is a friend too, but they couldn't come together. I told them, I spoke to them personally, if you could all come together and become a team, and all the young aspirants together and become a force, then we will be able to see if you have a chance to win over the main established parties. But as long as you are just doing little things down there, you are not serious. You have not proved to me that you are serious. You have not shown to me your preparations and your grand work. So it's a waste of time and energy to support people who you already know they will not even win their local government. So it's out of the people who could win the election. Out of the two people who could win the election were either from APC or PDP. I look at the two evils and I choose the less evil. That's what I do. So I don't have any allegiance to Buhari. I never met him. I don't know him. I know the vice president. I was friendly with him before he got elected. After I got elected, I totally cut my relationship with him so that I will not have people will not accuse me of any bias or any allegiance to something because he's my friend or something. No, I don't call him. I don't have relationship with him. I'm just following my heart. I just try to live according to the truth of my heart. So that is why I change political. And any other person has the same right to do the same thing, even if they are my followers or my members.
So to everyone watching this morning, right time has come. But before I open the floor for you to call in, let me ask Dr. Sunday one very clear question. If you have to choose a candidate for next election, if the person is coming from Southwest, who do you have in mind?
Southwest, only one person can win an election nationally from Southwest. Only Tinubu can win. I don't care how much people hate him. I don't care how much people say he's corrupt or something, but he's the only one that has the weight and the clout to win. He has the authority and the support of Buhari's supporters and the northern people, and he has proven in governance that he's a giant politically. Look at how he reduced. When he came to power in Lagos, Lagos was just like one of the states in Nigeria, dependent on federal allocation 100%. Just like most of the other states. 100% they go to Abuja to get money. But thank God for Obasanjo, they had a conflict with Obasanjo, and Obasanjo stopped giving them their allocation. So this guy is a genius. He came up with some inventive and revolutionary solutions that right now, I think the budget, the allocation, the percentage of allocation in the budget of Lagos State is just about, I think it's about 30%, maybe less than 30%. So 70% now of their revenue is generated within Lagos. Can you imagine every state doing that? It will be economic boom for the whole country. But that is just, now people say that the economy of Lagos, if Lagos were to be a country, it's going to be number 5 in the whole of Africa compared to other African countries. So who started that revolution? It was Tinubu and the people he put. And also, how can you be a governor and be able to raise disciples? You know what we have been having, the problem we have been having in Nigeria is with leadership. Because when one president comes, another one comes and destroy everything. Well, another one comes and start all over again. Another one comes and destroy everything and start over again. But in his own state, the same thing in all the states. But in his own state, in Lagos State, Tinubu has been able to raise up, a chain of leadership that has been able to continue the vision and been able to continue the progression and the progress of the state. And all of them are good. When they were removing Ambode, people were concerned that, who is this new guy that will come? We never heard of him. Will he be able to perform? But if you trace the track record of this Tinubu and his disciples, all his disciples have been able to perform. After him, Fashola performed extremely well. After that one, Ambode performed extremely well. This other one too is even outperforming all of them again. And if you look at other people that he has raised, like VP, Vice President, brilliant mind. Look at the Saul Aregbeshola from the other states, the one Fayemi from the other state, the one from Ogun State now, Abiodun. Look at all these people who are connected to him. He raised them. So someone who is able to raise capable hands like that, it will be foolish to say we don't notice it and that he's not able to manage the country. In the whole of Nigeria, I don't even see anybody to rival him. So I don't know if he's going to run or he's not going to run. But if he goes to run, I think he's going to win a landslide. His victory is going to be close to the victory of Abiola. Because it's going to be very difficult to find somebody to rival him. Even his own opponents know that they cannot rival him. I don't know him. I don't have any relationship with him. But I'm not politically correct because I'm not in politics. I'm not interested. I'm just talking what I feel. This is just my own analysis.
Thank you so much, DSA. I am so grateful.
But you said Southwest. If you had said I should mention anybody that I personally would like to see, not because I want to see Tinubu, I'm just telling you the objective analysis. But
let's say Nigeria.
Let's say Nigeria, okay. If I were to choose who should, be the president of Nigeria, I would have preferred to go for the combination of, but all these people are in two different parties. I would have chosen, what do you call Obi, the former Anambra governor.
Okay, Obi,
what do you call it? Victor Obi or something. Peter Obi, I think. Peter Obi. I would have chosen Peter Obi, but he's in PDP. And I would have chosen Zulum. The governor of Borno State. Maiduguri, Borno State. Or Peter Obi and Peter Rufai. What do you call it? Nasir Rufai. Yeah? El Rufai. So I would have done that. I would have chosen Peter Obi as president and Zulum as his vice. If I had my wish, if I had my way.
Then let me ask you why, because there are many people who are online want to call at them. If I ask you why, you will go down to breaking down, blah, blah. So let me quickly go to those who want to call in. It is time to call in if you want to ask DSA any question. Mind you, you are going to ask your questions, make it snappy, make it straight to the point. Come in, say your questions, and wait for the response. But before,
I would like to say, Israel, that if anybody will come abusing and using foul language, we are going to cut him off immediately and block him for good. So please be civil in your calls and in your language.
Please, let's call in, just state your questions, and then let us have him respond to them. But before, while they are calling in, Dr. Sunday, I want to appreciate your time for coming out to speak. We have put you on the chair right there over 2 hours, and nobody knows how many hours you are still going to be there attending to questions. Thank you so much for responding to call, to request for somebody like us, and I appreciate you so much. I appreciate your humility and ability to be a ladder as a leader in order for others to climb. Thank you so much, Dr. Sunday.
So they are going to, they have not started the call. When the call comes, we'll let you know. But we will call them back now, yes.
Okay, so are there people on queue for calling?
Yes, a lot of people on queue, yeah.
Let's start calling, because if you are two other questions right now, we may not be able to finish before I have some other questions on ground. We'll have loved to have.
Yes, please, you can be asking them while we are waiting for the calls.
Okay. When the question I would love to ask you, really, which you have attended to them several times, is that is there any secret working together with PMB, President Muhammadu Buhari? Do you have any secret, or are you in any way benefiting from APC?
No, not at all. I said even the only person I know in the government, I don't even relate to him. And God is my witness. I've not spoken to the vice president since 2015. Anyway, so who is okay? Since 2015, I've not spoken to him. After they were elected, I switched off, even though I have his number. And then Buhari, I don't even have any interest. I don't even want to, because if I go and be friendly with them, I'll not be able to speak my mind. So I would rather speak my mind and criticize them and do video about them. If they want to get annoyed, let them get annoyed. I don't care for their response. Even though it happened that I'm praising them more, but I must also retain the right to be able to criticize them when I feel like doing that. That's why I'm not having any relationship with them, and I don't benefit. I see them, I know what you are asking. They write in my comments on my Facebook all the time that I am an APC pastor or I'm being paid by this government. I mean, people who are talking like that is because that is who they are. They are judging you by their own standard. That is, they are not thinking, they don't even know that somebody could be out there being so passionate about the country, being so passionate about the government, even though it's not benefiting anything. For them, without benefit, you can't do anything. I think we have a caller now. Hello?
Hello, dear friend.
Yes, please.
Good afternoon from Los Angeles.
Oh, Sister Shinwe from Los Angeles. Thank you so much for calling in today.
Yes, sir. I am just calling to throw in my weight again to you. I will remain a Nigerian. Thank you so much for calling today. This is the Nigeria we are clamoring for, and we will keep it out there. Every number of peace and every number of peace and love from God will always say, I adore you, I admire you. I don't have much to say, but to say thank you. I throw my weight again.
But it's interesting that, but you are from the south, you are from the southeast.
Mm-hmm.
They were telling me now,
yes, I am.
They were telling me that the man will give order from anywhere he is in the world, and everything will go like a desert, will come dry in the southeast. Is it because they love Nnamdi Kanu to that extent?
I don't even know where Israel is drawing that conclusion from. That is a big error displayed. I was telling him on my comment. That is a big error. That is not what we are. I will not say this is not we are Nigerians. That is what we are. That is what we represent, and that is what we speak. Because Nigeria that where equity and love reigns is what we are.
And that's what I was trying to tell him, that the elite and the educated people in Igbo land, they know better.
You are so correct. You are so correct. There's no doubt about that. I'll stand and defend that anywhere, anytime. I know better, and I'll speak better. What they know and what they are displaying is not who we are, and that is not what we stand for. That's it. Period.
Thank you so much. That's why I say we have better Igbo people. I personally will vote for Peter Obi. You know, I don't know, maybe there's other people, but I know that he could be a good president. But I know that people would rather follow someone like that than Nnamdi Kanu.
You're right. Of course, you're right. Definitely, you're right. You are so correct. Peter Obi is a reggae.
Yes.
He is.
Yes.
I'll vote for him and Erufai.
Yes.
You got a good choice there.
Yes.
You got a good choice there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Blessings.
much. Israel, be careful. Tell holidays. Please watch your statement. We pay attention to words. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Okay, Israel. Oh, we have, while we are waiting for the other caller, Israel, maybe you'd like to say something while we are waiting. Now that you have Kushit. Are you there, Israel?
Yes, I'm here.
I can't hear you louder.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, good. Okay, we are going to wait for the other call. Yes, go ahead. Where are you?
Madam Shiwell, he happened to be my friend as well, actually, but the obvious is there. Anytime the man announce holiday, Igbo land go dry. Is there anything against that? Is there any time he announced that Igbo land didn't go dry? Maybe there's any time he should.
I say it's because of fear.
Okay, so
it's not because of love.
Well, I don't know, but a single man who does not pay anybody any money, who was able to bring over 1,000 of people on the street to march, and they were not paid to do that.
I will show you what Hitler did. He brought out millions of people on the street to march.
It was law, but he misused it.
Yeah.
He converted it for his own service.
You see? Deception. I'm just telling to tell you that the power of deception, that is what is breaking my heart about these agitators. They are building their arguments on lies. Most of the agitations, either it's Igbo agitation or Yoruba agitation, their premise is deception, is lies. And that is what's breaking my own heart. That is what makes me sad, because our people are so gullible and they just follow anyone that is making noise. That is where the pain is for me. Please, if you have any question while we are waiting for the next caller, please go ahead.
Okay. Let me ask you, DSA, as relating to the plan for making Nigeria a better place, just as we have been saying all this, because people opinion has always been that you stay on Facebook talking about Nigeria.
Yes.
And you are condemning those who are on the floor.
Okay, we have a caller. I will answer that question next time, but we have a caller. Hello?
Hello, Nancy. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Who is calling from where?
My name is Elisa. I'm calling from...
Yes. Hello?
Hello, good evening, DSA.
Yes, we hear you.
I'm calling from the UK.
Okay. Go ahead and talk. Hello, don't wait. You have to reduce, please, you have to reduce your voice, your own television. Reduce that. You have to put it down. You have to put the voice down in your place, the television or where you are watching me now. You have to put it down so that you can talk. Otherwise, the voice will be disturbing you.
Okay, can you hear me, DSA?
Yes, now it's good.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you for the time you've spent so far with Israel. I took my time to listen to you attentively. Most of the points you raised were very right, and we've been able to also challenge a whole lot of other Nigerians who possibly over time have been blinded by false information, because the period at which we are at the moment, we have micro blogging and whatever sites available for people to just put up things, and people tends to dance with it and move on with it without not verifying what they are reading.
Yes. For fake news.
Fake news, the place you of recent, the federal government decided to place a ban or suspend Twitter. You agree with me that with that, the issue of hate words and all of that within the country has drastically reduced.
It has reduced. You are right. You are correct.
That has drastically reduced. So the fact that the government of Buhari was lenient to a fault, for me, that's how I saw him.
Yes.
Because successive governments like that of Obasanjo era, most of the shit that Buhari allowed people to air their opinions, air their view. He did not subjugate anybody's voice for a very long time. He allowed people to say whatever they want to say. And I think to a large extent, he allowed them to create the kind of shows we are seeing today.
You are right.
If
you are
Obasanjo
absolutely, you are a very objective person. You are very correct.
If Obasanjo was in government, or even Goodluck Jonathan, half of what Buhari allowed, none of them would. I can make instances of what Goodluck did.
Yes.
When we had the increase in fuel, what's it called?
Subsidy.
Petrol subsidy.
Yes.
After 2 days, the soldiers came on the street of Abuja. I was living in Abuja then.
Wow.
Everybody disappeared. Everybody disappeared. They were on channels. Sanusi Lamidos and what have you, and Okojo Wellas and all of that, telling us the importance of subsidy and all of that, that they will bring bus and all of that. They will bring bus to Nigerians. Bus will convey people. They brought bus. We saw bus. Not that we didn't see bus. But how much was the bus? The bus that they said were subsidized, it was 150. From certain place to certain place. And they had to even calm people. Sometimes you will wait, you won't see the bus. So those are kind of rush solutions that Nigerians are used to. What Buhari is doing at the moment is that he's laying the foundation.
Yes.
Bringing out an edifice down within a spot of a finger
Yes.
is very easy.
Yes.
So when you're building a structure, it's not as easy as people tend to see.
Yes.
Mind you that this government is government that experienced pandemic.
Yes.
It's a government that experienced low patronage on oil sales.
Yes.
Across the globe. Most of the nations who are oil producing nations, they also experience this shortfall.
Yes.
How were they put money? Some of them cannot even, their citizens cannot even survive the way Nigerians.
Yes.
You see Nigerians who can still eat, at least they are eating.
Yes.
In Venezuela, in Lebanon, the statistics are there.
Yes.
Nigerians should search, should read news, go to Arise TV, Prime TV, all these Asian nations, and see what is happening around.
Yeah.
We're not the worst country in the whole country.
No.
In the whole world. We're not the worst country in the whole world. Nigerians just need to be positive.
Yes.
They just need to be positive and keep speaking positivity about the country.
We
Nigerians like to degenerate that country so much.
Yes.
And this is the place that I'm willing to virtually every Nigerian. Take, for instance, in place of university. Most of Nigerians who spend money coming abroad to come and school, we won't spend half of that money in Nigeria.
Yeah.
In our education system.
That's true.
Most of Nigerians who come abroad for medical thing, they will not spend half of that in building hospitals to that standard.
That's
They
true.
won't spend that money back home.
But we only blame the government. We want the government to do everything.
Oh, foreign exchange this, foreign exchange that. If the foreign currency that UK government takes from Nigerians in terms of school fees, an international student pays over £14,000.
My God.
How much do I earn in a year? £29,000. That's half of my salary. Somebody is paying in a session in Nigeria, and we have close to thousands of Nigerians coming to UK to come and school. What stopped us from developing that?
Bro, so many people are complaining that you are taking their time. They want to call too.
All right, let me just leave it. Let me leave it.
Thank you so much.
Nigerians that have developed Nigerians. Nigerians that have developed Nigeria. It's not the job of only Buhari.
Very good.
The
Very
local
good.
government must play their role. The governors must play their roles. Everybody must be hands down, hands on. Everybody must be hands on. That's how we can revive our nation.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
having me.
Blessings. Okay, so what was the question? What was the question that Israel was asking me before the call came? I think. Can you remind me? What was the question you were asking me before we picked that call? I can't seem to remember. Can you say it? I can't hear. I know our people will fix it.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah, I was what I moved myself from here.
Okay.
People are saying that you are on Facebook talking.
Yes.
And then Igbo was on ground talking. That both of you are talking.
Yes.
So what is the difference between him talking and you are talking?
I'm not instigating people against the law. And I'm not instigating people for destruction of your country, of your own country, that gave back to you. Where they say I'm a Yoruba man, I'm not a Nigerian. But you are still there, Yoruba. Nobody denying you your Yoruba citizenship. And when he wanted to run away, he took your Nigerian passport. He changed it, not Nigerian. I think we have a caller now. Hello? Ça va bien. Who is that? Is that our Mogaji Innocent?
Yes, this is Magaji Innocent from France.
Nice to hear your voice, sir.
Is my voice very clear?
Yes.
All right, okay. I want to give you a statistic before. I'll just address the misconception. This is the statistics of U.S. gun violence. If there is killing in Nigeria, that's okay. Nigeria is a third world country, and we are uncivilized people, and everything is bad in Nigeria. That is okay. But this is a quick statistics, and these statistics I'm giving you, people who are listening to us, you can Google this information. They are online. They are available. Just Google it. Go to the website of U.S. gun violence. You will find them there. Just in 2001, in 2021 alone, 2021 alone, from January to this July, there have been 10,000 gun deaths. I say 10,000, 12,000 gun deaths in the U.S. 12,000. Mark this figure, 12,000. There have been 15,400 plus gun injuries. There have been 270 mass shootings in the U.S. 2021 alone, 2021 alone, from January to July, just this month, within these 7 months. Then there have been 400 children shot, 400 plus children shot. Then there have been 2,000 teenagers shot. Then there have been 676 incidents of defensive gun use. Then there is 900 plus unintentional shooting. Then there is 15,000 suicide. Normal suicide in the US is within 40 to 50,000 suicide annually. This is US, this is United States. These are figures that they release. So you can imagine more than 200 plus mass shooting. We have 360 days in a year, but in the US they have had already. This is just half of the year, but they have had more than 200 plus shooting. So
but nobody is hearing about this. Only the Nigerian one you are hearing.
Exactly, nobody is hearing about it. US is civilized. US is advanced. They have everything. They have food. They have everything that they need. Why is there gun violence in the US? Mass shooting, no. When I say mass shooting, it's not one person, 2 to 3 persons. It is mass shooting is classified as a situation where more than 4 or 5 people are shot in a day. So you have a situation where in the US, more than 2, 3, 4 mass shootings are recorded every single day in the US. This thing is happening in America. You can change the figure. That is that. The second point I want to address is about Showering. Thank you, Jason, for what you said about Showering. I spoke with him personally. I told him, I said, look, Showering, we have 15 different types of revolution whenever you're calling for revolution. There is political revolution, there is economic revolution, there is socio-cultural revolution, there is agricultural revolution, there is scientific and technological revolution, and so on and so forth. So, political revolution is the situation where DSA made a video at least 4 or 5 days ago. He made a video about governors receiving security vote money, where Anambra State is receiving at least 1.800 million. And when you calculate it per annum, the money is amounted to almost 4 billion naira per annum. and different states. You see the executive vote. Those are some of the reforms we need politically. When you're talking about the political vision, you need to bring out a manifesto and say, look, we want this to be edited, we want this to be removed, we want this to be removed. What Shawara is doing, Shawara is just an opportunity. He's feeding on the frustration of the people, calling them to go and create violence, to create chaos, without giving them direction, without any plan, without any... The people know that they are suffering, but they don't know how to fix their suffering. And Shawara is not providing that solution. He's just feeding on their fears and saying, go, let us stop with this government, let us go to and just do all the time. I told him these things when I had a conversation with him. The second thing is economic revolution. You have a situation where you have to do everything in your possible best to make everybody to participate in the economy. Like I always say, governance is like a football game. For people who are late, let me use this language, it's like a football. The government doesn't provide jobs. The government plays the function of a referee, if you understand how football works. The government is the arbitrator. They set up policy, they blow the whistle, they set up laws, both locally and international laws. If you are doing corruption, you are being sanctioned. Anything you do, if you do something proper, they reward you. But the main players, the main mover of the economy are the citizens. They play the game, they move the ball, they score the ball. People like Dangote, those are the real players. If we can have 1,000 Dangote, we can have 5,000 Dangote. That's how governance works. And then the third thing I want to talk about is a misconception about this idea of Igboho.
About what? About what?
About Igboho and Nnamdi Kanu.
Okay.
Igboho, as is a defender of Yoruba people. But if you read sense, as DSA told you earlier on, I am from the north. I have lived almost all. I've been to Kaduna, Jos, I've been to all these things. I have lived with Fulani people. I've farmed with them. In Fulani, with the Fulani people, but me and my father, we have had an encounter with them several times. We have lived with them. They have lived close to our farm. We have lived peacefully for years. But there are a subset of Fulani group. We call them the Borori Fulani. Those ones, they are very dangerous Fulanis. They don't even work with stick. They have their way of communicating. Those Borori Fulani, the normal Fulani, are afraid of them. They can travel from Nigeria to Senegal to Mali. They go around. They rustle cows, and we Fulanis are threatening. 2.5 million people today are in IDP and in Borno State. They are all Hausa Fulani, Kanuris, and local tribes. They are Muslims. They are dying every day. If you read the newspaper, about almost 4 journals published today, newspaper they published, I think it was, I can't remember which organization left the figure of the North suffering from starvation. They say that millions of people are going to die because of the hunger that is coming. All this is from mass insecurity. And I'm not saying that the North are not complicit. They have been quiet about the situation because of certain religious biases and other things. But we have to speak objectively and say things as they are. The most affected region in Nigeria, the most underdeveloped region in Nigeria, it is the North. Today, let us agree. And the most developed region in Nigeria, it is the Southwest region. Where I'm talking about Lagos and other parts. These are the people that even enjoy Nigeria the most. Igboho is just an opportunist who want to take advantage. And if you want to understand his psychology, it is the psychology of power and monetary incentive. Igboho started this thing, then he noticed that he started getting attention. People started paying money into his account. Then he started feeling like a celebrity. People are worshiping him when he come out and rally people. If you have ever been in that position of power where you command voices of people, I heard this was saying that Nnamdi Kanu will give a command and people will stay at home. You don't know. I have a friend today, his name is Jene. If you want to go and type his name on Facebook, Jene speaks. This guy is the nemesis, arch nemesis of Nnamdi Kanu. He is the only voice in Biafra, in Igbo land, in Igbo that is out today, causing Nnamdi Kanu every day online. They have sent threats, they have sent people to kill him, they have kidnapped his friends. One of his friends is a reverend, they have kidnapped them. Online, I saw a video yesterday, one master prophet, he did a video of almost 12,000 people. And almost 2,000 plus comment of them, they were praying online with red candles for Ijele to die. But Ijele is an Igbo man. Then I noticed anytime Ijele made a video criticizing Nnamdi Kanu, the comments are always negative. But if you go to the likes of the video, you will see more than 5,000 likes and heart. And if you check all the heart in the comment, you see they are all Igbos. So, but these people, they are against Nnamdi Kanu, but they cannot speak because they are threatened with death. If you speak out, they will send their agent. People are watching them coming out live every day talking about how they will kill Ijele. So they are afraid to speak up. But Ijele was in Cyprus and he left back to Nigeria. He says he's going to beat him in Nigeria. He went to the court, he went to Imo State to organize campaign. He said he should ban Facebook. He took it upon himself that he's going to fight Kanu to death. And he's there every day on Facebook. I told him, I said, look, continue. We are behind you, we support you. Because he has seen, and Ijele, I'm telling you, Ijele is an atheist. He has seen through the shenanigans of everything that is doing. He has a platform, and every day you hear Igbo people calling him and saying that in Nnamdi Kanu is transforming. Sure, they have even called a new word now. They call it IPOB haram. That's what they call it now, IPOB haram. And he has a platform where he shares video every day. He has, I don't know how he gets this information, but on the 14th of June, he said that Nnamdi Kanu was in southern Cameroon. He posted a video on his platform. You can check it. You see the video. That Nnamdi Kanu was in southern Cameroon, and on the 18th, he was arrested in Kenya.
What was the name of this guy?
His name is Ijele Speaks. He had 3 Facebook pages. Ijele Speaks. Another one is called The Vulture King. Another one is called The Big Masquerade.
Please send them to me. I think I know you are talking about. What, I'm not sure. Yeah, send to me.
He has come to your platform one time. He's a very rugged, arrogant, stubborn guy. Every day he's online fighting Nnamdi Kanu.
Yes, I think I know him. Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't know he's your friend though.
We are very close. We speak most of the time. We have even hosted programs several times with him. And I told him, look, they have said threats to him. His friends, they are threatening his family members. He said he will never stop because Nnamdi Kanu is trying to drag their people back to backwardness. In fact, there was a question he raised. He said, what if those 3 million people never died during the Biafran War? What will have happened to them?
Yes.
They will have been progressive now. All the professors, what 3-4 years they lost all the money they have worked for, and now the country is coming back to drag them to that era. You saw he's saying now the country is a fraud. He even granted interview to BBC. His informations are everywhere right now, and they are sending death threats to him every day, but he's just laughing at them. So these are people. Go to his page, you will see how a lot of Igbo people are quiet. They cannot come out publicly to speak. He's the one giving the voices now. They know what's happening. Because the moment they speak, they are threatened. Okay, look at the special advisor of Governor Hope Uzodinma. He was killed. I'm in Facebook jail today. I cannot post anything because I tried to share the video where they cut his manhood. The heads of Governor Hope Uzodinma, they cut his manhood and later on killed him. They beheaded the man. How can a civilized people, one of the most intelligent business savvy group in the whole of Africa, how can you go down to such barrenness because of one mad individual who sit down and marry all the youth, and then you think people should be quiet? I can't even speak today. The moment I speak, they'll say it's Igbophobia. They'll start attacking me. They'll say, oh, you hate Igbo people. We don't hate Igbo people. We are just telling you that this individual is trying.
That's what they tell me too. That's what they tell me too. They say I hate Igbo people.
We don't hate Igbo people. My younger sister directly, she has a Igbo fear. Say we have 4 Igbo in my family that I'm married to. So it's not about hating Igbo, but this is the reality. Wake up and smell the coffee. Thank you, dear. So let me stop.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. We have another caller, and I think they will soon come. We still have Israel there waiting. But what was the question I was answering from Israel again? I can't remember. Do you guys remember? We have a caller now? Okay. Okay, I'm speaking Igbo is speaking. I think that was the thing you are asking me. So I'm speaking values. If people don't know the difference, someone is speaking, Igbo is speaking fear. Igbo is speaking threat. Igbo is taking political advantage of people. Igbo is manipulating people. Igbo is using deception to captivate people. Igbo is an opportunist. Igbo is talking things that will, make people to be angry, to make them to be mad and to want to do something evil. I am speaking things that will make you to see light. I'm speaking things that will make you to see truth. I think we have a caller already. Yes?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Hello, yes, sir. Who is speaking from where?
This is Udo Adelaja, sir, from Evaluation.
Oh, it's been a while. How are you, my brother?
I'm fine, sir. You?
Very
happy to be from you, sir.
Thank you, thank you.
And to my brother Israel Balogun.
Yeah, he's
Good
there.
evening to you.
Thank you.
I keep saying this. Posterity will always be kind to you, DS.
Amen. No, some people are saying that posterity will.
No. They don't know where you are coming from. And what you are preaching is alien to most of our people.
Yes.
We are always quick. In our country now, we always look for quick solution to every problem.
Quick solution.
If there are process and things to lay down to come to that level, we don't know about that. Yes, that's a problem.
Yes.
Because even in the access, if you replace any other person with Buhari, fundamental problems that brought us to where we are now, nobody has been able to talk about that. It's all about Buhari. But fundamental problems, how can a country over 200 million population, you have a standing police force about 500,000, policing a population about 200 million. You don't even talk about people that are VIPs.
Yeah.
The pastors have taken over. At the end of the day, if you check all this, you find that nobody's policing who.
Yeah.
In the last, from 1984, 85 till now, nobody has invested in our military. Nobody has invested in our police in terms of personnel and equipment. And suddenly, we found ourselves where Boko Haram and bandits are rising.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry to say this, though. I criticize Jonathan administration, but now I've seen, when I encounter you, I have seen where our problem started.
Yeah.
Nobody made an investment in all of this area.
Very good.
And now, problem we found ourselves, it overwhelmed our security agencies.
Yes, yes.
We don't have equipment. We don't have personnel. And here we are today. And rather to talk about how do we talk about this, people are talking about Buhari is bad, Buhari is bad, Buhari is bad. Remove him. If you remove Buhari today and put another person down, where are we going to get the equipment to fight these people that we never planned for? Where are we going to get the personnel? Because in terms of money, we don't even have money to pay them.
Yeah.
It's a problem that has been. It's a problem. But we always focus on he's not doing fine, he's not doing fine. If it's someone that is talking about, bring him there.
Yes.
You get into that topic, you need the reality. You can speak from outside, but when you are there, you need the reality.
Yes.
You may have your love for your country, but the reality facing you, you are incapacitated to do what you're supposed to do. I'm a supporter of Buhari, because anytime I see him on ballot box, I'll be voting for him, and I see him and see Atiku, I'll still vote for him. But there are areas that I'm angry with him.
Yes.
How can we keep on funding an NPC that is not producing anything for us? A corporation that is run on deficiency, run on loss every year, and we keep 20 billion funding, paying people. If they manage their own private business, will they continue to pay people that are not using any profits?
Yeah.
And these are the promises this man made to us. He made that promise.
Yes. He said he was going to remove subsidy.
Subsidy. But he has succeeded in some area, because the kind of subsidy we witness now is not what we saw under Jonathan, where emergency billionaires were making every day, almost on a daily basis. Without any office that say you employ people, nothing. Just go to a finance office now. You impose also metric of fuel. Somebody paid you.
Yes.
Nobody verified whether you impose. So that's not the reality now. But how can you keep on funding people that every year we are not making profit?
Yes.
Petrobras in Brazil, they are making money.
Yes.
It's a corporation. But we keep paying people. Okay, now you say you are going to fight corruption now. You came into office. Obasanjo gave Kromoye management to turn around what they call turn around maintenance of our refineries. $280 million were paid for these projects. And at the end of the day, the refineries did work. You come into office now. What stopped you from investigating and finding out what happened to this money?
Yeah.
It is a responsibility of government.
And electricity also, the money that Obasanjo spent.
Paid. In fact, that of election, we don't need to go there. They just use their property to sell to their cronies, their friends. People that brought nothing to improve on electricity, they bought this thing they paid nothing. We gave it to, and we are still paying them. We still fund money to buy transformer to replace. If MTN Mass or Glow damage, they know they're making money from that. They have to go and replace it.
Yeah.
But here we are paying. You pay to go and your area. You have to pay to buy another transformer. In an organization, in a company that is making profit from Nigerians. It's sad.
Yeah.
But I'll be following this program from where you started now. Nobody will vote Buhari today. I'm telling you, sir. Nobody. The level of insecurity. He is doing a lot on infrastructure. Nobody is doubting that. Even opposition, they accepted that. But
insecurity.
Yeah, insecurity is doing a lot of damage to this administration.
He's erasing, he's spoiling everything they could do well.
He's spoiling everything. How can a family that sold their property to go and pay ransom to kidnappers to release their child, and you tell them the government is working, they will believe you? Nobody will believe that.
Yeah.
But that's reality. It's happening in Kaduna today.
Yes.
That's reality.
Yes.
So he needs to do something about that.
Yes.
And I'm happy the Tucano jet they promised us is here now. Let's see, because yes, I believe old age affected this man a lot.
Yes.
That's reality.
Yes.
Buhari, we read about him in 1984. It's not same Buhari here.
Yes.
Because a lot of things happening that you know that if this man was in his best, I don't think some of those things will happen.
Yes.
The situation where security agencies that you appointed were working at cross purposes. Nobody was taking order from each other. They were going at proposals now, and it's all about the interest of the nation. And you didn't call any of them to order.
Yeah.
That's not acceptable.
Yeah.
Age affected him a lot.
Yeah.
And do I regret voting him? No. If I see candidate of Atiku, tomorrow I see Buhari, I will still go for that character. Because if Atiku had to preside the affairs of this country today, somebody that could not even manage his company as Intel that was providing logistic support to our seaport was owing up billions.
Yeah.
And I will not choose such a candidate.
Yeah.
It's not possible.
Yeah.
So do I have some areas that I'm not comfortable with him? That's true.
Yes.
I am. But I'm not going to condemn him because I have seen, like you taught us, process, institutions, some of those things, they are not here.
Yeah.
We have to start afresh and start thinking about how do we hold somebody that's responsible that we provide everything for you to protect us, but at the end of the day, not protect us, no, we learn to ask questions. But those are not here. That's the one part. Now, Israel Balogun, my brother, are you hearing me?
He's hearing you.
Good. Israel, he talk about NSAS protests, but NSAS protests provide a very opportunity for our youth to begin to hold government responsible. But we mismanage that opportunity.
Yeah, we lost it.
If we don't talk about that, we'll keep on repeating the same mistake.
Yes.
These were organized youth that were on the street for 12 days. The president recognized their protests. The VP called it legitimate.
Yes.
But when they saw that hoodlums were going to take advantage of that, they said, please, just go. Let me remind Israel, before this October NSAS protests, around June or July, we had a lockdown over COVID.
Okay, yeah, you are right.
Those people that were springing up, those people that were springing up from Ebutemeta, Ikorodu, Ojota, Aziz, protest because these are people that make their daily living on daily basis. They were coming up because staying at home for 1 week, they could not manage it. Government now start begging wealthy Nigerians to intervene because whether we like it or not, we don't have money present in Nigeria.
Yes.
We don't have. Government were begging the wealthy Nigerians, $10, the Denogas, the Dangotes, they raised their billions to say, help these people, let us provide something for them, let them stay, because COVID was around the corner.
Yeah.
Now, when those people came up, nobody mobilized them. It was hunger that mobilized them. Now, NSAC protest on October, the same thing happened. People were on the streets. Government called it legitimate. But when they saw that Hurdles were taking advantage of this in Ikorodu, Ebutem, all those houses now, they say, please just leave this place.
Yes.
Before then, you already convey your message to the governor, Sawolu. You deliver to the president. The president said, we are going to address this thing now. The letters you get, 5-point demand you made, is this something you are going to do within 5 days? It's going to take time. Yeah. And government said, we've listened to you. We are going to do it.
Yes.
Just leave this place so that others will not take advantage of this situation. At the end of the day, what happened? The buses, the blue buses that were destroyed in Lagos, who are the people that use it? Is it Tinubu? Is the common people that make use of that system?
Even his children don't use it.
The children don't use it. That Nigeria Port Authority that were destroyed, the money that we used to rebuild now was money supposed to go somewhere else. Now the useful explored because they saw a government that tolerate other periods. They felt that they were holding government at the jugular. They start coming with other demand. Let Buhari go. Let Buhari go. After giving your 5-point demand, the president accepted. You now started adding another thing, thinking that because you don't understand the power of government.
Yeah.
Without understanding, you don't know what government is. When that government intervened, they started coming with all sorts of social shop, billions were killed and all that. We made that opportunity because if we didn't make that opportunity up, I was expecting them tomorrow. We now go and barricade National Assembly. We now ask them, senators. Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, exactly.
Senators that take 45 million and 90 million.
Yes.
The market your wife go, is it different from where police officer's wife go to market? Is it different? These are things, organized protests.
Yes.
Would have bring up elected officials to their knees and we negotiate with them.
Beautiful.
We have something to do with that protest. If those guys were organized, but how guys to just listen to when government were pleading to them, please leave. And National Assembly senators are taking millions.
Yes.
Quarterly. Unaccounted fund. Only thing we know is only their basic salary. But other things they're burdened to their distance. Nobody knows. We should have condoned that place and tell them, let us negotiate.
Yes.
If you are not going to serve us at this minimum distance now, go. That's the strength of people.
Right.
But we abuse it. And today, nobody has been able to say, look at the area we made mistake. Do you think that government just disorganized Nigerian SH protests that were protesting? Wow. If we don't admit the area we made mistake,
it's like you are a political analyst. You just put everything in the rightful place.
if we don't learn from this, we'll not tell this area correction. You get 5-point agenda. Government say, oh, we are going to listen to that. The disadvantage is us, good. Even in most of the agenda, the point they gave now, it was for the welfare of our police officers, which we need to talk about too.
Wow.
And you feel that with that kind of arrangement, government here, we have brought government to their knees. And when they rose to the challenge, now what happened?
Uday, you know what? People now are watching. People now are saying they want to call too. Please, so you have to give them play. Thank you so very much. You're speaking like a wise man, like Solomon the wise.
You are doing a great job. And posterity will always be kind to you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So what's happening okay, maybe Israel asked another question, but people are still calling, and you are the one who brought me here, and I have to answer the questions of all the people who are lining up here. So we'll still take some calls and see.
Yes. I actually wish that those who are of contrary opinion should call in. Why is it that those who have been calling in are those who are going to be supporting your opinion?
I don't know.
Those who are that comment, I asked them to come and ask you here.
Yes.
Why are they not calling right now to tell you what they feel and to hear your view on their matter?
Maybe you have helped them to ask their questions.
Because many of them are still even commenting on the video which I'm looking at, and they are not calling.
Let them call. Someone is calling now. Hello. Yes, sir.
You hear me?
Who is calling from where, sir?
Okay. Okay, my name is Gabriel, and I'm calling from the UAE, United Arab Emirates.
Beautiful. Nice to hear your voice.
I'm a Nigerian.
Yes.
And I appreciate I've been following you for a long time. Anyway, that's just for another day.
Thank you.
Just like Israel said. And for Israel, we pray for you that the Lord will be with you. The hand of God will be with you and protect you.
Amen.
Anyway.
Amen.
So let me go before I ask my question. I think like Israel was saying, I think we should probably restrict to question rather than people making comments. It's okay for them to make comment, but they should ask questions too.
Okay.
Now, going to my question. I was born in the early 70s, so I know how life used to be then.
Yes.
In fact, and how we live with morals and the standards that were then.
Yeah.
But today, I have a challenge, and I know that you are speaking into the conscience of the government, because I know they are listening to you in some parts, and they are trying to do some things even they don't follow all.
Yes.
So, is it possible? What can you do to end these manners? Because we see today a lot of youth are going to the prison. From EFCC issue.
Yeah.
Yes, we are not saying that the youth are not they are corporate, because they are committing the crime.
Yeah.
But is it the youth to be blamed for the system that have created an environment for them not to succeed, and they end up
no, I think
committing crime.
I think the blame.
Yahoo.
I think the blame is on the government, not just the government of this Buhari, but all our previous government.
Okay.
They have not.
Sorry, doctor.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, doctor. You will answer these questions. Let me just align my questions, then you can answer.
Okay.
Because I have like 3 questions at least.
Okay.
So I want you to talk. Maybe you should have a program about that, to talk to the conscience of the government.
Okay.
When a government official or a big man steal a lot of money, billions of money, they end up getting out of prison.
Yes.
But all these simple little guys that are trying to find their way on internet before they do some smart stuff. I have an idea that probably even use these guys when they put them in prison. But of course, reverse is the case. They end up coming out worse than they enter there.
Wow.
So if they are using them now, it's even better. So my question is not like a question, but I'm saying to you, since government sometimes listen to you, can you have a program and you will suggest to government what they are supposed to do with this youth that are doing financial fraud and all? That is one.
I hear
2,
you.
In your comment,
Go ahead, sir.
In your comment, you made some comment about insecurity and infrastructure. Now, my question is, which one is better? That you you build infrastructure, but insecurity came. Who are the people? And they kill all the people that will use the infrastructure. So which one is better? Should we continue to build infrastructure while insecurity is increasing? That is my number 2 question to you.
Okay.
Then number 3, pastors. I know you talk about, yes, they have been following you, and even because some of us that are your disciples, we are falling victim of you because we are following you too. Like Israel has got himself that the Lord will take him out of
Amen.
it.
Amen.
So my question is, do you see any connection
Yes.
with the system that the pastors are using, and compared to these agitators? Do you see any similarities in the style that they are using, the agitators, Igboho, and because for me, I feel that what they use is just to try to sow wrong perception, wrong ideology to people and enforce it. Because somebody was saying before that Nnamdi Kanu will call, I think it's Israel that asked you that Nnamdi Kanu will call from nowhere that they should cease to go out and it will come to be. Is it the same system? Is it not the same system that pastors are using? Do you see? Do you see any connection with that? So I ask you 3 questions. Let me stop there so that other people can ask the question. Please don't forget the 3 questions.
Okay, I remember the one about
the youth and EFCC.
Yes.
The youth and the EFCC system. Then
and the security.
2, insecurity and infrastructure.
Okay.
And infrastructure building.
Okay.
Then the 3rd one is the connection between
pastors.
Do you see any connection between the style of the pastors
and the agitators? You have a unique you have a unique way of thinking. I like your mind. You have a unique type of brain. I like it, and thank God that you called today. Thank you so much. I will try and answer the questions. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So let me start.
I will cut now to go back to the program.
Okay, thank you. So let me start by answering the last question. The style that the agitators are using and the pastors, you are just so right, this guy. I didn't even know how he made the connection. He has a unique brain. You are just so right, because the pastors use deception and non-truth to captivate the hearts of people. And they turn them into slaves. They turn them into slaves, and they have slave camps, even though they call them churches. But they have molded the minds of those people to believe them and to follow them and to fear them. Is it not the same thing the agitators are using? Lies and deception, non-truth. They put fear in people and say, these people are coming to overtake your land. These Fulani herdsmen are coming to enslave you. Fear, fear, fear. They are raping your women. They are doing this as if they are not doing it for the Fulani themselves too. So they don't tell you the real truth. They tell you half-truth, non-truth. Just the same thing like these pastors in Nigeria are doing. Put fear in you so that you will see them as your savior, as your deliverer. You are absolutely correct. I cannot even argue that. I just credit your mind. Thank you for the comparison. Now the second question about infrastructure and insecurity. Of course, insecurity is more important. Security is more important. Combating insecurity is more important than infrastructure. But we cannot do that in the government. When it's government, you have to do it parallel. So you have to, at the same time, be fighting insecurity and at the same time, be building infrastructure. But the good thing with this government is that at least we see that they are trying to do something. Even though they are failing in the area of infrastructure, I only gave them 3 out of 10. But in the area of insecurity, I only give them 3 out of 10. But at least you can see that they are making some effort. And we want them to improve from 3 to 7 or 10. So, yeah. So now, concerning the Yahoo boys and Yahoo boys and the government, what's EFCC? Yeah, I have done a video. If you go to YouTube and look for, just put my name, Sunday Adelaja, and put EFCC, or I think, put Yahoo boys, Sunday Adelaja, Yahoo. Yeah, Sunday Adelaja and Yahoo. You will see the video I did that they should incorporate. I personally think that they should build a city, call it not a computer city, or call it technology city, and arrest and invite and tell all the Yahoo boys, if you don't come there, you'll be arrested, and bring them there and retrain them to do constructive, because they're already good in the internet. They're already working on the internet. use them, train them, and motivate them and reorient them to be able to use their skills, internet skills, to do programming, to write programs, to develop apps. And I think we can get 1 million people like that from Nigeria. If we do that, we'll be able to turn Nigeria into technological hub like China, like India did. India did that with their youth, and I think I try to suggest that to Nigerian government too. Thank you so much, bro. I will keep on talking and I'll keep on doing videos. I hope they will listen. Thank you. Okay, let's see who the next caller is. Israel Balogun has put me under the under the spotlight. So if people are calling, if people want to talk, we'll allow them to talk. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, please. Who is calling from where?
Hello.
Yes,
hello,
please.
Pastor Sunday.
Yes, sir.
My name is Gabriel. My name is Gabriel Iklaga.
Oh, wow. The guy the last guy who called also was Gabriel.
Oh, yeah. So you have a flood of righteous angels coming before you now.
Where are you calling from, sir?
Right now I'm in Abuja, but I'm based in Budapest actually.
Oh, that's close to me here. I'm coming. I think this year I'm coming to Budapest this year by God's grace.
What time, please? I would love to see you.
You just write me to my Facebook. Write me to my Facebook.
Okay, Pastor.
Yeah, I will let you know.
Actually, since I came back, I'm actually very disheartened about what I see. So actually, I'm from the hinterland of Nigeria. In fact, I'm from Benue State.
Oh yeah, so, a lot of problems there. My God, especially with Fulani and killings. Yeah.
Yes, Pastor. But I guess a lot of your objectivity comes from the fact that you are a diaspora for over 30 years.
Yes.
That is over 3 decades.
35 years.
Yes.
35 years.
Yes. So that is over 3 decades then. Over half of Nigeria's, more than half of Nigeria's life.
Age. Yes. Yes.
Yes. So in actuality, you are in Europe, even though I would say maybe the existence of Ukraine, but we are not going to go that. Ukraine is basically a buffer state between the former Soviet and the EU.
Yes.
But actually, I see that nations have identity.
Yes.
We do not have a national identity.
You are right. I agree. Okay? I agree.
Yes, and that is actually the basis of our problem and why we are being exploited. Mm-hmm. So my first question would be, how can we build a national identity that will be able to overcome our ancient ethno-religious, especially differences?
But that is one of the areas where this particular government has failed. That is why I say they are not doing well in orientation, in national orientation at all. It's like just talking about infrastructure, economy, as if national orientation is not even existing.
Pastor, I'm sorry to say, no matter the tribe that any of the old foxes come from, they cannot. It is impossible for them now.
They don't understand
it anymore. Yes, they don't understand it. It's not possible. They only maybe the exposure that they have was the colonial exposure that they gave them in Sandhurst. In England, in the military schools.
I think you are right.
They can only do to serve either United Kingdom or France. So that is how they are trained generally. Okay. So my question now is basically a philosophical question.
Yes.
Because we have ancient. I think we are the only race that have ancient hatred to an extent that we can destroy each other and sell out each other in the transatlantic. I think there's no hatred on earth as much as black hate.
Yes.
Actually. Yes, because if you see even the Second World War. The Europeans were fighting each other, but they didn't drop nuclear bomb on their German brothers. It's in Japan they went to drop it on. So there is it's only us that hate each other the most. So I guess my question now is, how can we actually evolve and a set of young rulership that we be able to take over from these old foxes?
Yes.
Because that's the difficult thing now. So how can we actually, first of all, turn this society? Because many of us have been brainwashed. We are tribalistic animals or limited religion. I'm a Christian, but I see that our own syncretism is what is being practiced here.
Yes.
Just as you have been saying.
Yes.
So
yes.
how can we actually? I know you are doing your own part from outside, but how can we actually, ideologically, like how you spoke about Hitler? Hitler took over his country.
Yes.
So how can we actually do that kind of thing, but in such a heterogeneous society as ours? That's my question.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Gabriel. Wow, this guy that just called now, he just hit the cocoa of the problem. The whole problem is we need ideology. We need our own philosophy of development. And we need to mold Nigerians into being Nigerians. Right now, we don't have Nigerians as a homogenic nation, people. We don't have Nigeria as people that we could say everybody came from different tribes and different countries, but we are all thinking the same. I have training and teachings on that. But these teachings, even though I've put it in the video, how to make Nigerians, who are Nigerians, but we have to find a way to bring this to all the political parties and train them on how they themselves could even understand what it means to be a Nigerian. Does it mean to be a Nigerian? I think I have a video like that. What does it mean to be a Nigerian? Who is a Nigerian? And we need to form the ideological aspect, the philosophical aspect of a Nigerian. And we need to train all the politicians. We need to train all the civil servants. We need to introduce it in the school system. Then we need to introduce it in the churches. And we need to introduce it in every family altar and in the families, Christian, Muslim. If we could come up with this, so first of all, we have to work out the concept and the ideology of who a Nigerian is and what you need to have, what you need to possess to be a Nigerian, with values and virtues that will make you a Nigerian, and then inculcate that, into all our people, embellish them in it. That is the only way out. Beautiful, but it's a long job, but God will help us, especially with we cannot go YouTube, we cannot go beyond 4 hours.
I was about calling your attention to that we are almost 4 hours and they will stop this live broadcast.
They will stop us. So it's up to you now to conclude.
Yes, thank you so much for all the questions answered. And then I want to believe by now many people will have gotten your perspective on issues as relating to what you say and where you stand when you speak. But I noticed that you will prefer putting the achievement of Nigerians out there than talking about the evil side of Nigeria. Are you trying to cover up? Maybe I noticed that you would prefer to bring good achievement of Nigerians and Nigeria out there than talking about what is bad about Nigeria. What is the reason behind this concept?
First, there are several things. Number one, because I live outside and I've been living outside for 35 years now. And I know that our problem is our own problem within. We should look for solutions to resolve them. But if we just keep on talking about the evil things in the public platform like Facebook, everywhere, just talking about evil about yourself, the Bible says that in the power of the tongue, there is either death or life. So, and anybody that blesses, either you bless your nation or your country, or it is what you reap. What you speak is what you reap. If you your words, it is the word of the righteous that fills his stomach. So it is what we speak that will become. If most Nigerians will be cursing the country instead of blessing it, that's what we will become. If we are going to be speaking negative, that's what we'll become. If we speak positive. So I see that there are too many people who are already speaking negative about our country. I said I would rather be on the side of people who will be speaking positive. I know the negative, I notice them, but I will never focus on it. I would rather focus on the best that we have.
Thank you so much, DSA, for that. And also, one other thing I would love to ask you before we call it a day is, you spoke in one of the fora that you are invited about Omoluabi concept.
Yes.
Your opinion that Nigerians should declare revolutions and rebuild Nigerians to become Omoluabi, or Yoruba people should rather focus on building Omoluabi than looking for a nation.
Yes.
What do you mean by Omoluabi? In a few times, just explain to what do you mean by Omoluabi.
I think that Nigerians themselves, even Yoruba themselves, have forgotten the meaning of Omoluabi. They know the word, but they don't know the meaning anymore. And because there is no system of inculcating that value system in our people again. In the days of Awolowo, before the independence, in schools, and immediately after independence, he propagated all these things in schools. So things like civic, they used to call it, civic science, and ethics and aesthetics. These are things that inculcate and make them to be able to teach those kind of things to people about that. Values are the most important things that anybody has. Values are more important than money. Values are more important than virtues. They're more important than riches. Values are more important than position. Values are more important than influence. Values are more important than politics and political influence and authority. So we have to go back to that and to let Nigerians know that Omoluabi is character. Somebody who is character-based. Someone who values character and his name and his good name and the good name of his family above anything else. He would rather die than bring bad reputation, bad name to himself or to his family.
Thank you so much, DSA, for your response. Opportunity will come next time for us to host you again on this platform, Witness Africa Initiative. And to those watching me at home, I want to appreciate your patience. I want to appreciate your civilized way of talking. I thank you when you call in, you are civilized. Though I was expecting that many people who are of different opinion to what they say is standing, instead of putting it on comment alone, you can as well take a call and call in and state your mind so that you will be able to respond to them. But however, thank everybody for taking time to be here today. And most importantly, thank you to DSA who have taken you to be on the seats. On your own side, it's over 4 hours because you have been on the studio before we start. And now we are almost 4 hours on the live program. DSA, I'm honored to have you here today. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. And thank God for people like you who have burden and love for people and for God and his kingdom. And I know that if we have 1,000 people like you in Nigeria, we don't need to wait for Buhari or for the government. Nigeria will automatically change. God bless you. Thank you for all you are doing. I appreciate you. And I want to call on everybody that is watching this program to hook up with Israel Good News Balogun. He has many projects that he's doing. We need to support him. And anyhow you can support him, get behind him and let him know that he's not alone in that country and in this fight. God bless you guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much.